for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
rumble! Yeah. What's up? This our boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building, and we back. New Media Today USA boxing. Yes, sir. We are rocking out today. The boy feeling good today. I'm feeling real good today. Had a good little workout. Had to go talk to Bob Marley right before the show. I have my tea right here. R.I.P. to the great Bob Marley. The late great Bob Marley. You see what I'm saying? I got the greatest of all time behind me. Ali looking down on me. I got Pernell Whitaker, Sweet Pea to my left. You see what I'm saying? Got Mike Tyson to my right. I got Sweet Pea above. I got Rudd Jones Jr. over here to my right. I got Tyson and Burbick up here up top. I got the marvelous Marvin Hagler over there, waiting on Sugar Ray Robinson to come, and I have another Hagler post I'm putting here, and I got some more. So yeah, man, I'm in the spirit today. If I was in church, they would say, man, I'm feeling the spirit today. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Oh wait, hold on, wait. OG say, don't let that Bob Marley have you like. Hey, man, let me give everybody a shout out, man. Hey, man, shout out to George Ickles. George, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Johnny Blaze. Shout out to Gerald Fields. Shout out to Troll Master Mike. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Richard Sletsky. Salute to you, brother. Shout out to OG, double OG, triple OG, quadruple OG. We're going to put some respect on his name, too. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Double A, the Sagittarius, my brother, Double A, the Sagittarius. What's going on, fam? Shout out to JC. Shout out to New Money DMG. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Zach Allen. Yes, sir. Shout out to Cardinay. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Molly Bobo. What's going on, brother? Shout out to Andrew from the UK in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out to Zachary Allen. What's going on, Zach? Shout out to who else we have? We got to let YouTube go ahead and let everybody know that we're on. Shout out to Eliza Feliciano. Shout out to Anonymous. What's going on, fam? Shout out to my brother Halim in the building. Shout out to Paul Evans. Oh yeah, and shout out to Coach Asgy too. I can't say Halim without saying Coach Asgy and MTK Global. Hit the Ali bell for my brother Halim, MTK Global, and Coach Asgy. Shout out to PED. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Stephen Joseph. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to Carlos Diaz. Yes, sir. Shout out to Paul Evans. And shout out to Levi Smith. Shout out to Centos Boxing. Centos, what's going on, fam? Yeah, absolutely. I'll drop the link in a minute. I got to cook, though. I don't want to be interrupted right now. So let me say what I got to say, then I'll go ahead and do that. Shout out to CMD Boxing Reports. Shout out to It's Cold in the Wintertime. Shout out to Boxing Fan. What's going on? Shout out to who else we got? Oh yeah, shout out to Joey Scott as well. Joey Scott, Deontay Wilder's strength and conditioning coach. He hit me up this morning. Shout out to my brother Joey Scott. Much respect and love to Joey Scott. Good brother. You know what I mean? That's a good guy, real good guy. Much love and respect to him. Oh yeah, shout out to Fred Barbershop Conversations. He has a new movie coming out called 9 Wives. I'm going to support that movie. I am going to support that movie. It's dealing with the domestic life. They say the domestic life of Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam. It's just basically talking about Fred's going to come on the show tomorrow. He's going to come on the show tomorrow to promote the movie. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to have the flyers up and everything for him. I'm going to support that movie. I'm going to probably be one of the first people to buy it. As you guys know, I was in the Nation for 24 and a half years. I was a lieutenant, came out of Muslim 47. And I can tell you all of the people who trained me. But that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Jedi Gremlin. And other than that, man, let's get into this. Now, we got to talk about this fight last night. As you guys know, I am a Jermell Charlo fan. Jermell Charlo is one of my favorite fighters. You know this. And as you know, I did pick Jermell to knock out the old boy Brian Castano. Now, before we get started, I don't want no one saying, "Yo, man, we knew Castano was this, and we didn't nobody know shit about Castano. Nobody on the streets of YouTube was saying anything about him. Nobody. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of what platform it is, and no one was talking about him. So cut it out. But it was a damn good fight. Now, I was able to watch like three fights that he had prior to the Jermell Charlo fight. I thought Jermell was going to knock him out. I was totally wrong. So before I start this show, I want to apologize to Brian Castano. Sir, you have earned a fan in me. You have shown me something last night. You showed me grit, determination. You showed me you could take a punch. You showed me that you know how to weather a storm when you got hurt a couple of times. Jermell Charlo showed me he knew how to weather a storm when he got hurt a couple of times because his knees buckled a couple of times in that fight, right? And, I was pulling for my man, Jermell Charlo. It didn't kind of work out that way. I'm not screaming robbery like everybody else. It wasn't a robbery. A robbery is Pernell Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Julio Cesar Chavez. That's a robbery. A robbery is Larry Holmes versus Michael Spinks 2, the second fight, not the first fight. A robbery is when Lennox Lewis fought Evander Holyfield in the first fight, and then they just said it was a draw. Now this fight was a draw as well, but we're gonna put it in its proper perspective and context. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna definitely get started. Gotta get started. Shout out to my brother Exclusive for dropping that $3 on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
My brother Exclusive say a draw was fair, but not in an undisputed contest. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, brother. Exclusive. I don't want you guys thinking I'm being biased. I'm not, but I kind of gave Jermell Charlo like the 9th, 10th, 11th, and maybe even the 12th round. The 12th round was the toss-up, but 9, 10, 11, he clearly won those rounds. To me, you see what I'm saying? To me, and so I can see where he could have won 3 more rounds in that fight, and yada yada yada. Judging is subjective, guys. Remember that. Judging is subjective. Now, I don't agree with the 117-111. The 117-111, this guy's just basically saying that Jermell Charlo won 9 rounds. He did not win 9 rounds in that fight. So that's crazy. Shout out to my sister Lisa Bales for coming in hollering at your boy. Shout out to Lady Shan. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel. Shout out to Noonie. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Noonie. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sam UK. Shout out to Carlos Mendoza. Shout out to my brother Retro Boxing. Please subscribe to my brother channel. Retro Boxing, please subscribe. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man, yeah. Now, I'm not saying it was no robbery because it wasn't. To me, right? Postman. Shout out to Postman. Shout out to 8525. Shout out to Daniel Minta. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Preacher David. Shout out to Peter Barnard. Shout out to Paul Evans. And that's all the shout outs I'm going to do for now, right? The 117-111 was crazy. Not going to sit here and lie to you guys. Now, let's get into this. Now, as you guys know, the Jermell Charlo did have a hard fight against Brian Castano. And they did fight in San Antonio, Texas last night. So we know that. And I think that Jermell got the benefit of the doubt of from that judge who scored at 117-111. So that's why I think that I do believe that. 117-111, I don't know what he was smoking. But guess what? If that judge would have ruled it 114-113 or 115-112 to Charlo, made it closer, it still would have ended up a draw. So I think what the people have a problem with how wide of a margin the scoring was. How in the hell did he see that Jermell won 9 rounds? I have no idea. But it is what it is. So now, as you guys know, the fight did not go how I expected. So I was wrong in my prediction. I thought that Jermell Charlo was going to knock this dude out because he's a come forward guy. I thought he was going to walk right into these traps that Jermell set up for him. I was wrong. Brian Castano was a lot smarter. He fought more of an educated fight. He has excellent footwork. Jermell has good footwork as well. You know what I mean? And I have to give this guy all the credit in the world. And honestly, when the fight was over with, me being as objective as I possibly can, I kind of had him winning 7 rounds to 5, but I also could have saw where it could have been a draw at as well. Because if you get Jermell Charlo 9, 10, 11, and if they gave him the last round, then that's 4 rounds he won in a row. You see what I'm saying? And then he won the second round where he hurt Castano. He won that round. So 5, let's see, 4, then 5. And then he might have won another round, swing round between 1 through 8. Right? So, a draw, I think a draw was good. If it would have went to Mel, that might have would have been a tough one for me. Even though I'm a Jermell Charlo fan, because I kind of felt like, because Derek James, as a matter of fact, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So now, as you guys know, that the fight did not go as expected, as I expected anyways. You know what I mean? Many fans, including myself, was sure that Jermell Charlo was going to stop Brian Castano via TKO, stoppage, or even win by KO. I was one of them. Guys. Can't even lie, can't even front. I see everybody in the chat. You see what I'm saying? Now, most people, including myself, did not know much about Brian Castano or who he is, for that matter. But after last night's performance, everyone watching this fight know exactly who Brian Castano is today, including myself. So we're going to put some respect on Brian Castano's name. Hit the Ali bell for the brother from Argentina, Brian Castano. I am going to drop a link. So people can come on. You know what I mean? But I want to say what I have to say first so I don't get interrupted, right? So when I invite people on, you guys can talk, we guys can talk and, we make it do what it do, right? Now, a lot of people, felt like, Jermell Charlo was lucky to get a draw last night. A lot of people feel that way. Others feel that Jermell did enough to win the fight last night. Okay? So I would like to hear on both ends. As you guys know, I am a diehard, I ain't gonna say diehard, but Jermell Charlo is one of my favorite fighters, period. You know this, but I can't lie. I gotta, you know what I mean? So we're gonna get into it, right? So now, one of the judges in the fight, as we know, I forgot this guy's name. He scored it 117, 111. That means that he had Jermell Charlo winning by 9 rounds, 9-3, something like that. Another judge scored it 114, 113 for Castano. Another judge scored it a draw. So 1 for Mel, 1 for Castano, and 1 a draw. So the one who scored it 114, 113 for Castano, he saw it real close. And Castano did, to me, he lost the championship rounds, to me. He lost them. To me. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people like Brian Castano, I ain't gonna say that. Yeah, but I can say that. A lot of people felt that Brian Castano got shafted and he deserves the victory. So I want to know, what do you think? You know what I mean? What do you think? And let's talk about it. Right? So I got some notes. I don't have my pad, but I do have my notes right here. And I'm going to go over some things before I open up the panel. I'm going to go over some things before we open it up, right? So now, as you said before, I scored the fight 7 rounds to 5 for Castano. Even though I wanted Mel to win. And I thought Mel was going to knock this dude out. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was wrong. I owe Brian Castano an apology. As a matter of fact, we're going to give everybody a round of applause in the chat and give Brian Castano a round of applause and Jermell for the performance they put on last night. Yeah, man, we're going to put some respect on his name. And I'm going to hit the Ali bell for everybody in the chat and Brian Castano and Jermell Charlo last night. Hell of a fight. Now, was it that Brian Castano was a cherry pick that went wrong? Because didn't nobody know who he was, right? So if certain fighters, like my fighter, Terrence Crawford, got to throw him in there. If he would have fought a Brian Castano and struggled with him, guys would have said, oh, man, he struggled with a bum. He struggled with Mean Machine. This, that, yada, yada, yada. But what Jermell fight Brian Castano, a lot of people, I'm not going to compare the two situations, but Brian Castano is not a bum. He's not a C-class fighter. Last night was his 19th fight, professional fight. 19th professional fight. Shout out to my sister Lisa Bales. Shout out to Major Key Boxing. Everybody please subscribe to Major Key Boxing. Hit the round of applause for Lisa Bales and Major Key Boxing. And my brother Blood Retro. And my brother Boxing Documentaries. And we're gonna hit a round of applause for Lady Shan as well. out to Rider of the Storm for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Woo! Hey, man, y'all know I stole that from Blue. He wasn't rocking it right, so I took his beat and made the beat my beat, and now we rocking it.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
I saw the fight last night. You say it was a draw. Castano admitted last night that he was hurt in the 2nd, 10th, and 11th. And they both said that the other fighter punched hard. Yeah. He did. He said that he was hurt in the 2nd and 10th, which is true. And he was still dazed in the 11th round from what happened to him in the 10th round. That is facts. But I'm gonna tell you something. You know what we didn't hear last night on Right on the Storm? We didn't hear Jermell say that he got rocked by Castano. Because Castano rocked him a couple times, made his knees buckle. If it wasn't for the ropes, he would have went down. Shout out to my brother Toon.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to my brother Toon for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. he said they robbed me, coach. I figured Castano would beat Charlo because I thought he beat Laura, and Laura is better than Castano. I lost $150 yesterday. You know what? Toon did pick Castano. I forgot all about that. Toon was the only one that I've heard anyone picking Castano to win. He did say that. And guess what? I gotta give him a round of applause for that. And I'm gonna go over everybody in the chats. Now, check this out, man. Now, let me go ahead and read my notes. I got some notes that I wrote down about this fight. Now, this is one of the things. I have 9 points I want to address. One of the points I want to address is this. In the post-fight interview, when the reporter asked Jermell Charlo, do he want a rematch? Guess what he said? Call Al. He didn't say big fish. Call Al. Cap. He didn't say the cap and the big fish, but he said, man, I don't know, man. I got to call Al Heyman and see what Al Heyman want to do. I didn't like to hear that. I did not like to hear that. Shout out to Karma Serene. Let's hit the Ali bell for Karma. I didn't like to hear that. Jermell Charlo, you're one of my favorite fighters, but you let me down last night after the fight. Yeah, we got the call. I'm on the call. We're going to call Al Heyman and see what Al say. Damn to call Al Heyman. Yeah, man, I want that rematch. ASAP Rocky. Only thing is, by Jermell having all of those belts, he's going to have mandatories coming up and he has to defend his titles. But my point is, we're going to call Al Heyman. What the hell you mean call Al Heyman? I looked at, so all these fighters who, I'm my own boss, but they always got to call Al. That's who the boss is. And then we know who's Al Heyman's boss. We did a presentation on that. Waddell and Reed, we know that. Hey, it's fun. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Shout out to New Money DMG for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Super chat.
Yeah.
Received.
Playtime's over, boy.
I got my herbal tea right here too, guys. Normally when I'm on the mothership, that's what we should say was in the nation. The brothers got on the good green and smoked on the good green. We say we on the mothership because, in the NOI they believe that Elijah Muhammad is alive on a spaceship. He's going to come back and kill white people on the planet Earth. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to get off point. But yeah, man, shout out, man, to New Money DMG for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Now, I will say this. Big fish. Jermell Charlo said that we got to call Al Heyman. What in the hell do you mean you got to call Al Heyman? Last night, Jermell Charlo looked very tight. Watch the fight again. He looked very tight. He was like this. You know how he like this, looking all mean tight. He wasn't relaxed. He looked very tense last night. I'm going to tell you, when you see a fighter like this, he's loading up for that one shot. He's loading up for that one shot. Mel was looking to knock this guy out, and for some reason, he did not want to throw that right hand. But I know why he didn't want to throw that right hand. Because Jermell Charlo thought that Castano was going to just come in there and start swinging all wild like Marcos McDonald. Marcos McDonald just come in there and then he gets you on the ropes. He just go to swinging. That's what he thought he was going to get. And the 2 times he hurt Castano was in the exchange. Left hook. Left foot caught him. But Castano fought a smart fight. He used what you call educated pressure with his footwork. And he was trying to get Charlo to start throwing a bunch of punches. I'm getting close, throw your punches. But Charlo figured, nah, this dude trying to set me up. Because he felt the guy's power, and Castano felt Jermell's power. So it was a chess match last night. It was a chess match last night. That's what it was. It was a chess match last night. Castano is his boxing IQ is very high. Jermell Charlo did not look like I normally see him look. He normally is very explosive on offense. He normally has a very aggressive tactical style. Sometimes, on offense, he didn't look the same to me. It was like he knew, man, I'm in here with a bad motherfucker. It was like he knew this. He knew that he was in for a fight. He knew this, right? But he could have made this fight a whole lot easier for himself had he listened to his corner. If he would have listened to his corner, right? If he would have listened to his corner, Derrick James told him to use the jab. For some reason, he didn't use the jab. He did not use his jab. For some reason, he did not use his jab. He could have made that fight a whole lot easier if he would have used the jab, but he didn't use it last night. Why? I have no idea. But Jermell Charlo did not look like the lion that I saw him when he fought against Lubin and when he fought Tony Harris in the second fight. Even when he fought Tony Harris in the first fight, he did not fight like that. He's trying to fight off the back foot. For some reason, he was not pressing the fight like he normally would do. So does that tell a lot about his respect for Castano? And I'm a big fan of Jermell Charlo. You guys know this. But, man, I can't lie last night, man. I had him. I scored at 7-5 for Castano. Shout out to Carlos Diaz for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Yeah.
Playtime's over, boy.
Carlos say, I am a fan of Mel, but I had Castano winning by 1 round. I'm not mad at the draw, though. Yeah, no, the draw, I think the draw was good. Because I'm not going to lie, it's not like Castano separate himself in that fight, especially when you lose the championship rounds. To me, he lost 9, 10, 11 in the 12th round. The 12th round is probably debatable, but let's say he won 9, 10, and 11. That's 3. You can, then we know Mel won the second round when he hurt old boy. So that's 4 rounds. You can arguably find 2 rounds in there that you can give him to make it a draw. But guess what, though? So it's going to be some people, because they don't know who Castano is, they'll say, oh, man, he was in there with a bomb. He couldn't even get no bomb out of there. That dude is not a bomb. Just because you don't know who a fighter is does not mean that he's a bum. It just means that you don't know who he is. That's all that means. And he admitted that he got hurt in that fight, Castano. So now, let's move on. When Castano was asked if he wanted a rematch, he said yes, and he felt like that he got robbed. Now, how come Castano, when he asked if he wanted a rematch, he said yes, but then the reporter asked Jermell Charlo, did he want a rematch? He said, man, we need to call Al. Both of them are PBC fighters. Jermell Charlo is a PBC fighter, and Brian Castano is a PBC fighter. Both of them are PBC fighters. How come one PBC fighter says, yeah, man, yeah, I want a rematch? But then the other PBC fighter says, oh, we need to call Al Heyman. Call Al. Come on, man. Hey, guys, hold tight for a minute. Bear with me. All right, guys, I'm back, man. I'm back. Back, just talking to my cousin. That's all. Yeah, man. Listen, bruh. Listen, Castano and Jermell Charlo are both PBC fighters. Last time I checked. Shout out to Major Key Boxing. Please subscribe to the Major Key YouTube channel. Jermell, do you want a rematch? Yeah, I got what we're gonna do. We got to call Al Heyman. Brian Castano, do you want a rematch? Yeah, I want a rematch immediately. I felt like I got robbed. Now, I will say that 117, 111 was some hometown cooking. I will say that. Shout out to my brother Toom for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Yeah.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Listen, you know how mean and angry Jermell Charlo looks. Remember how he was looking, Toom. Remember how Jermell Charlo, my brother Toom say, you see the young boy know a little something, coach. Still got Pac beating Spence too. You see none of the critics made a case for Charlo, only Castano. Exactly. Hey, listen, Toom, you was right about that, brother. You was 1,000% right. I was wrong. And man, I got to take my hat off to you, bro. Toom said from the beginning that Castano was going to win. He picked Castano to win that fight. He said that. And I think he said he expected to win by decision. Something like that, if I'm not mistaken. He said that. He said that before the fight even happened. Toom said that. As a matter of fact, Toom said it, I think he said it last month and a couple weeks ago as well. He's been consistent. DT3, the boom man said, told you it was going to be a draw. If you told me that, man, I don't know how you knew that. Yeah, I don't know how you knew that if you told me that, brother. But if you told me that, you was right. But anyways, did you notice the energy in Jermell Charlo in the corner? Well, let's move on. They asked Errol Spence in the audience. And I got it written down right here. Errol Spence, the reporter asked Errol Spence, he said, man, what do you think happened in the fight? Errol Spence said, talk to Derek James. He the trainer. They asked Errol Spence, what do you think that Jermell Charlo need to work on? Errol Spence say, oh, man, he need to work on, talk to Derek James. He the trainer, ask him. He didn't say, yeah, man, Mel won. Mel did this, Mel did that. He didn't say that. Nobody from Jermell Charlo's camp felt like he really won that fight if you're looking at body language and energy. Looking at how their eyes was looking. Now, as I said before, the 117-111 was a terrible score. Facts. But if that same judge would have scored that fight 115-112 or 114-113, guess what? It still would have been a draw. It still would have been a draw. And guess what? It's not Jermell Charlo's fault what the referees scored it or Castano. The fighters have nothing to do with the referees. Now, if it's somebody on the outside that got something to do with the referees, that's another story. Because we both know that Jermell Charlo is the favorite over there in the PBC. He's one of them. It's brother Deontay. It's Deontay Wilder. It's Errol Spence. It's Tank Davis, and it's the Charlo brothers. They part of the top 5 fighters they really, really favor. So they wasn't going to have Brian Castano beat Jermell Charlo, in my opinion, if it came down to that. But that fight was very close, so I'm not going to sit here and say that, it was a robbery, because it wasn't a robbery. Well, depending on how you look at it, if you felt like, yeah, man, Brian Castano, he clearly won this and that, and they just stole it. Nah, I mean, you had a judge win in his favor, and you had one judge say it was a draw. You see what I'm saying? So now, no one knew who Castano was before this fight. So is Mel, this is the question I got for the chat. No one knew who Castano was before this fight. So the question I want to ask y'all is this. So is Jermell Charlo overrated? Because he struggled, and you feel like he's overrated because he struggled with a tomato can? I just want to see what some of these fans have to say. Or is it that Castano was a lot better fighter than everyone thought he was, including myself? Outside of my brother Toom in DT3. So is Jermell Charlo overrated in your opinion because he struggled with Castano, a unnamed champion that you guys were not familiar with? Not unnamed, but unfamiliar. You know, he wasn't popular. So do you feel like that Castano was a tomato can? And I'm gonna tell you where I'm going at with this. Because if Terrence Crawford would have fought Castano and he would have struggled against him, I'm pretty sure you guys will be saying something totally different right now. But off of Crawford, because Crawford did give his opinion about who he thought won the fight last night. A lot of people did. You go on Twitter, there's a lot of people who feel like Castano won that fight last night. I tell you what, there are more people, and bro, I don't know who Brian Castano is. Jermell Charlo is one of my favorite fighters. Hands, it's Crawford. It might be Crawford, Canelo, Jermell, Anthony Joshua. And like that's how I got it, any order you want to put it in. And for me to have to admit, man, you know, I think my man Mel lost that one last night. That's me taking my unbiased hat off. But anyways, Castano, we heard that he beat Errol Spence in the amateurs, but you know the amateurs don't mean nothing. But he beat him. Castano said he knocked him down twice. They asked Errol Spence about that. They asked Errol Spence about that last night. He said, hey, man, Castano said he beat you in the amateur, and he said he knocked you down twice. Do you remember him? He said, yeah, I remember Castano. He said, but I also remember this sparring partner, this guy, that guy. He said, I always remember, he said, I remember everybody who beat me in the amateurs. That's how Errol Spence did it. Now, but I'm going to tell you something that you guys probably didn't pick up on. Major Key Boxing say that 73% of people on Twitter response had Castano winning the fight. 73%. The people have spoken. The people said that they feel like it was that Castano won the fight. Ronald Finkley said that was a draw for show. It was no clear winner because of lack of urgency. Yeah. Again, it's subjective. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying you right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm just saying I was wrong about Mel knocking this dude out. This dude was a lot tougher than I thought he was. So I'm going to tell you from my perspective, because the question is, so is Jermell Charlo overrated? Is Jermell Charlo overrated? Or is Castano a lot better fighter than we thought he was? Because it might be a narrative out there that, yeah, man, you know, Jermell Charlo, man, he struggled with a tomato can. He struggled with a no-name fighter. You know, that's what the casual fans are going to say. And the people who don't like, who hate Jermell Charlo, they may say that as well to try to dig at Jermell Charlo. Understandably so. Because Jermell Charlo do say things that make you dig at him. So I'm not even mad. I'm not here to defend Jermell Charlo or to sit back and say, yeah, man, you know, you guys are wrong for saying this and that about Jermell Charlo. No, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying he's one of my favorite fighters, but he struggled with Brian Castano. And he said that we knew what Brian Castano was going to do before he came in the ring. We drove to train for that. We prepared for that. In the weigh-in, I noticed how mean Jermell Charlo was looking. He was looking like Clubber Lang on Rocky 3. Looking all mean. He was trying to intimidate Castano. It wasn't working. Jermell Charlo was tense. He was tight in the fight. And I don't know why. I thought Jermell Charlo was going to win this fight, guys. He's 5'11" tall, right? He had a 73-inch arm reach. Castano had a 67.5-inch arm reach. So you're talking about 6.5-inch arm reach advantage. Castano was 5'7" tall. So there was no guessing what he was going to have to do. By him being the shorter fighter, having a shorter arm reach, he was going to have to come inside. Pause. Everybody in the world knew what Castano was going to do, what have had to do in order to win this fight. You're the shorter fighter, and you're fighting a fighter who has a longer arm reach. So I was like, well, damn, man, he just gonna come in there. Mel gonna be waiting on him, or Mel gonna press the fight and fight front foot dominant and stop to get this dude out of there. Jermell didn't do that. Shout out to Javi Santana for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Yeah.
Received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, yo, coach, do you want to see a rematch or let's move on? Or was the weigh-in shenanigans legit or BS? I think the weigh-in shenanigans was legit. I do want to see a rematch. Why not? This is for undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. We had an undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world fight last night, and nobody won. And the way the politics of boxing goes is you very seldom see undisputed fights because of, fighters being on different networks and promotional companies. Well, the only thing that worked out good in this fight, both fighters are PBC fighters. Javi Santana, both fighters are PBC fighters, mi hermano. So that's what made it good. I would love to see a rematch. I'm just being honest with you. I would love to see it because we didn't come away with no victor.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Yeah, right of the storm. That's correct, but he said that just speak volumes to Castano's boxing ability. Exactly. Hey, right of the storm, bro. I didn't know much about Castano. I'm being honest with you, and because I'm a big fan of Jermell Charlo. Of course, I said that he was gonna knock this dude out. She's shorter. He has a 6'6" arm reach advantage against this guy. He gonna get this guy out of there. I was completely wrong. Elvis, what you say, fam? You say, coach, I did say the arm reach wouldn't matter much because Laura way better boxer and has a 75-inch arm reach, and he struggled. Had to KO Castano. Yeah, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. But, so some of you say Jermell Charlo is overrated. You think he's overrated? Lady Shan say Mel looks like he was a bit tentative. Yes, he did. He looked very timid. Topentine say only volume punch could stop a short volume puncher. Just like Iron Mike. Douglas had to come up with the multiple punches in order to bring Mike down. Yeah, he beat Mike for 10 rounds. He had to hit him with everything in the kitchen sink. Mike ain't never got knocked out. No one clean knockout. It's always been a accumulation of punches. So, Nooney says Charlo knocks out Castano in the rematch. Charlo figured him out in the later rounds and really hurt Castano a few times. Yeah, Nooney, but Castano hurt Jermell Charlo a few times as well. You can't ignore that. I have the receipts. In that fight, Jermell Charlo got caught with a left hook and his knees buckled and he sat down on the ropes and then came back up. And I'm a Jermell Charlo guy. And with me and Lady Shan was on the chat last night and I was like, man, he don't buckle them. And Jermell Charlo got buckled several times. The only difference is between Jermell was on the ropes. And then Jermell couldn't get him out of there. So, anyway, Castano was a lot better than I thought he was. So, it could be a combination of the two things. It could be that Jermell Charlo is overrated and Castano is a lot better than we thought he was. Could be a combination of the two. It could be a combination of the two. Hey, OG, you see what I'm saying, OG? He said that bottom rope saved Mel ass literally. Exactly, OG, you saw that. You saw that, OG. That bottom rope saved him. And OG hit the nail right on the head because it was the bottom rope that he fell all the way down to. Shout out to my brother Sly Tennessees for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Hey,
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Best Boxing Channel. by a country mile. Coach don't care about your biases or sensitivities, and he ain't going to kiss anyone's ass. Shout out. Yes, sir. New Media Day USA Boxing. No, we can't do that over here, man. We got to be a free platform. And, I'm going to drop the link so people can come on and chop it up, right? I'm going to drop the link so, people can come on and chop it up. But yeah, man, we don't, we got to let people come on. I'm not trying to kiss no. I want my freedom. I'm not trying to kiss no ass. I'm not going to be down with no cliques, no crews, Yeah, I can't do that. But I appreciate the compliment, my brother. I really do. But so I think it was a combination of everything. Now I have some criticism for Jermell Charlo, and I have some criticism for Castano. Carmen Serene said, "Oh my God, stop saying that." Mel caught his balance and bounced back up. Okay, hold on, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's get back into this. Let's see. Jay Rodriguez. Shout out to my brother Jay Rodriguez for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Yes, to the sir. Both Charlos are used to getting hit. Listen, man, let me tell you something. I got some criticism for Jermell Charlo, one of my favorite fighters. He has a tendency to telegraph his punches. That's one. He loads up on the right hand. When you watch Jermell Charlo, he doesn't know how to. I want to make sure I say this right. I don't want to say he don't know how to set up his punches. I don't want to say that. But he doesn't know how to finessefully not make it obvious that this is what he's trying to hit you with. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you why, because he fights so tight. He's looking mean. He look at me, he like, now he had good footwork, but he's like this. And it's obvious, okay, I can shout out to Sports Brotherhood said I was saying that Jermell was easy to time. Listen, Castano was timing him all night. But then Jermell timed him as well. Hector Garcia said, was this the fight of the year? Nah, hell no. No, ain't no hell. This ain't no fight of the year. It was a good fight, though. It ain't no fight of the year, nah. Nah, it wasn't no fight of the year.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
I don't know what it is. Jermell Charlo came in too tight, Lisa. Tight. Looking all mean, mouth poked out. We always do that. But it was obvious what he was trying to do. Yeah, as soon as you get close, I'm gonna throw the right hand. Come here, fool. Come here. Come here. Plenty more rock, plenty more. Plenty more rock, plenty more. He reminded me of Clubber Lane. Just being all tight in the fight, not relaxing. So anxious to try to set. And then so when Castano saw that, he said, no, I ain't gonna attack this guy the way I normally attack where I win at Laurel. I'm gonna go at him a little differently.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Jay Rodriguez for dropping that $2 on your boy. He said aren't. Okay. Shout out to Dion Canati for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. Yes, sir.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Dion Canada. He says, everyone keeps saying Charlo won the second half, which is false. It's more to the second half than the second or third. I don't know if I understand that, but I do get what you're saying. Everyone's saying he won the second half. I was one of them. I was saying that I'm not gonna say the second half of the fight. I would say that to me, Jermell Charlo won the 9th, 10th, the 11th, and the 12th round. I got to go back and look at that again. But I think he won that round too. So, that's what I mean. He won those championship rounds. To me he did. To me, he did. But again, but then again, it's subjective. I'm just saying. I'm just calling it the way I saw it. So we don't went over that. Jermell Charlo is not. Well, I don't know. Some people feel like he overrated. Some people not. But this is something else I noticed. I got my notes right here. Number 6, Mel and Derrick James had a look of defeat in their eyes when the fight was over. Derrick James even told Jermell Charlo, listen, man, you're going to have to knock this dude out. You need a knockout to win this fight. This is how worried Derrick James was about this fight, about his fighter. Derrick James, the trainer of Jermell Charlo, felt like his fighter was losing. When you have a trainer tell you, look here, kid, as the legendary Tommy Brooks, Hall of Fame trainer Tommy Brooks would say, look here, babes, you gotta go for it. You got to go for it, man. You're looking down. You down in the cards right now. You down in the cards right now. Anytime a trainer tell you that you have to go for the knockout, he felt like that you're losing the fight. And do you see what I'm saying? He felt like he was losing the fight. Derrick James was telling Jermell Charlo, listen, man, you can win this fight easy. Just use your jab. Work behind your jab. Use the jab. And Charlo was not listening to Derrick James. How many jabs did Charlo throw last night? Very few. Listen, Chris, what you say, Chris? The coach said, you're letting the rounds go. You need a knockout. Yes, he did say that. So for all you are saying, oh man, Jermell won this fight easy. No. If he did win it easy, how come his coach was telling him something totally different? Because this is what Castano was doing. First half of the round, he's using educated pressure to get Charlo to open up and throw punches. Charlo knew this is what Castano was doing because he trained for the guy to come directly at him. When he didn't do that, Charlo was just trying to be patient because he was looking to counter Castano instead of fighting front foot dominant and taking it to Castano and make Castano try to counter his shots. Jermell Charlo can fight either way, but while you're fighting a shorter fighter, you have the reach. I thought he was going to walk Castano down and take it to him. He did the total opposite. So, Derrick James told me, he said, look here, man, the only time the man is getting off on you is when you let him get you on the ropes. He's stealing the last half of the rounds. He let you do what you're going to do in the first half of the round, but then when it get down to like a minute and a half or a minute left in the fight, he puts you on your back foot and he's catching you. Now, Castano did get hurt with a left hook in between exchanges, but then Charlo got hurt several times in between exchanges as well. I'm a Jermell Charlo guy, bro. I'm telling you, bro. But I got to call it like I see it. So Derrick James even said, look here, man, you need a knockout. You got to knock this guy out in the 12th round. And Jermell Charlo did kind of go at Castano. That's why I gave that 12th round to Jermell Charlo. So while the trainer was saying, man, you let the fight go, man, you listen, man. And Derrick James was getting frustrated with Jermell because Jermell was not listening. I'm like, damn, Jermell, work the jab. Listen, Lady Shannon tell you, we was on the chat. I said, man, work the jab. It's right there. Just throw the jab. Castano went in that high guard. He's looking, peekaboo style. Peekaboo, peeking through the guard. He said, as soon as this dude open up, I'm on his ass. Pause. Jermell Charlo didn't want to open up. He did not fight Castano the way he fought Tony Harris in the first or second fight. Look at Jermell Charlo's energy in the first and second Tony Harris fight, and look at him in this fight. It looked like two totally different fighters. Two totally different fighters. Nooney said, one other point, Coach, Castano stole a lot of the middle rounds where Mel was doing work most of the rounds with the jab. But then the last 45 seconds of the round, Castano would get Mel on the ropes. Yeah, he did. Lady Sand said, yep, no jab. He would not throw the jab, Shan. The man, I'm gonna drop the link in a minute, guys. Give me about 5 more minutes. He would not throw the jab at all. How in the hell you have a 6-inch arm reach over a guy? You 5'7", you 5'11", he's 5'7.5". You have a 6-inch reach over this guy, and you have a 5-inch, about a 4-inch height advantage over this guy, and you don't use none of your advantages. And then he was loading up on the shots. When you see Jermell like this, look at me, looking like Clubber Lane. Come here, fool. Come here. Plenty more rock. Plenty more. You know, when you see Mel like that tight, you know he's finna throw a power punch. You know he's waiting on it. You know he's waiting on it. He loads up on his shots. And Jermell does that when he gets overly anxious. When he gets overly anxious, he loads up on his shots. And I think he might have had so much pressure on him to become undisputed and knock this guy out. And he's fighting in San Antonio, pretty much in his own backyard, that he got caught up in the moment. Am I making excuses for Jermell? Hell no, I don't make no excuse for no goddamn body. You ain't never got to worry about that. Never. Me worry about making excuses for Jermell Charlo. I'm just saying he didn't keep that same energy. As Errol Spence would say, he didn't keep that same energy with Castano that he had with Tony Harris in both fights. He didn't keep that same energy with Castano that he had with Lubin when he fought Lubin. Uncle Dave Zilla said you can read Mel like a letter. Yes, you can read him like a letter, Dave. He loads up on his shots. Well, listen. This is how Tony Harris was able to counter Jermell Charlo in that first fight. I thought Jermell Charlo beat Tony Harris in the first fight. Until I watched the fight again with the volume down and I watched it. And I said, I need to see what the judges were looking at. And when I rewatched that fight again, I said, oh. See, some people get it twisted. They think, well, this guy landed the harder shots. He should have won. Okay, if you land a hard shot in the round, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win that round. Especially when this guy had your head snapping back with a jab the whole goddamn fight. Or the entirety of that round. So you're saying that if a guy hits you, jab the hell out of you 15, 20 times in a round, and if you land that one hard shot and he gets hurt, but the guy don't fall, he don't go down, he makes it back to the corner when the bell rings, you're saying that one shot equals up to 12, 15 shots that he had the guy looking like a bobblehead? He said, I might be a biased Mel fan, but I gave Mel that draw. But I can see how lots of people had Castano winning. Yeah, I'm a Mel fan too. But I had Castano winning that fight, bro. 7-5. But I also could see where they got the I'm gonna put you in. I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. I also could see how they came up with a draw. Only issue I had was the 117, 111, but it didn't really matter. Dr. Hook said that could have easily been a 10-8 round for Castano if the ropes actually held Mel up after a punch. That's the same as a knockdown. Yeah, the referee kind of let him fight too. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Well, Dr. Hook, if he didn't knock him down, it can't be a 10-8 round. You know what I mean? Now, Derrick James was telling Mel, you need to knock out this round. After the fight, right? Again, as I said before, Jermell Charlo seemed very tight and timid. Mel went and listened to Derrick James and worked behind his jab. I wonder why. I wonder why Jermell Charlo did not listen to Derrick James and work behind his jab. I wonder why, guys. Now, as I said before, Jermell Charlo is a damn good fighter. As you know, he's one of my top guys. But he's not the fighter that I thought he was. I am a diehard Jermell Charlo fan, and I have to admit, he's not the fighter that I thought he was. I didn't see that attacking style that we normally get when we see Jermell Charlo. And I don't know what it was about Brian Castano, but he had a whole lot of respect for Brian Castano. If you watch any of Jermell Charlo fights, you never see him the way he saw him last night. It was something about Brian Castano that let Jermell Charlo know, man, this dude ain't nothing to fuck with. He's a shorter fighter. He has a shorter arm reach. But man, that's what I saw. Shout out to Javi Santana for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Javi Santana say Laura versus Castano was more of a draw in this fight. And Laura had a 75-inch arm reach. I don't know. I got to look at that fight again, too. I don't know if that was really a draw. I don't know if I agree with that. Shout out to Tony Boswell for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He says, much respect, Newmany Today, USA, boxing, and the chat. Stop this show and a little support. Hit the like button. Yes, sir, man. Tony, man. Good looking out, fam. Hit the round of applause for Tony. Hit the round of applause for Tony. Here, drinking my tea, guys. Drinking my tea. You see what I'm saying? You know, always after you hit the Bob Marley, get you some hot herbal tea. It kind of mellows it out a little bit, smooth it out. You see what I'm saying? Eliza Feliciano says, Al Heyman's favorites, Wilder, Spence, and Charlo. Yeah, the Charlos. Yeah, you're right about that. And Tank Davis. OG said, Mel complained about the ref in a joking manner at the post press conference. The ref did a good job to me. I don't think nobody had a problem with the referee. Michael Buffer, what you say, fam? You said, Coach, it was that Laura fight that got Mel shook. Listen, this is what I want to ask you guys. Shout out to Troy Graham. Shout out to my brother Troy Graham, man. Shout out to Troy. Y'all please don't forget to subscribe to Major Key Boxing channel. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys, for the year over with. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Hooligan Music said, Coach, just because Spence told him that guy dropped him before. Hey, Hooligan, down, man. You think that was it? You think that was it? Oh, so okay. Okay. Yeah, man, Hanson Elvis, I believe that too. Yeah, Castano got robbed versus Laura too. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, that was more of a robbery. The robbery was Castano versus Laura to me. Last night, it really was no robbery. Was it some hometown cooking? Yeah, there's some hometown cooking, but it wasn't no robbery. You got to beat Jermell Charlo in Houston, in Texas, San Antonio, 2 hours away from Houston. You got to beat him. Castano knew what he was up against when he came in there. He already knew what it was going to be. But again, I'm not saying that Castano got robbed. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. Eliza Feliciano said, think Derrick James and that fool Charlo said in the post conference that Tony Harris is better than Castano. Yeah, they did say that. They did that try to take away from Castano. They did say that. I mean, it was just two different styles though. Two styles, so I don't know. Let me ask you another question. Do you guys think that Jermell Charlo got some hometown cooking last night? Did you guys think that Jermell Charlo got the benefit of fighting in San Antonio? Any fighter any fighter fighting in their hometown, you know how that works. But I want to see what everybody in the chat saying. Mad Dog said yes. Brian Sullivan said yep. Justin Hunt said absolutely. Noel said definitely. Definitely. Noel Espada. $117, $111 is terrible. Diallo Huggy said Jermell got some of that mama's cooking, coach. Yeah, mama's cooking. Nooney said he was A-side and got treated as such. That makes it even worse then. Because if he the A-side, he should have fought like an A-side last night. He didn't fight like he was A-side last night. And you know what I noticed too, Nooney? When you look at Derrick James said, man, you need a knockout to win this fight. Derrick James said, man, you ain't listening to me. All you got to do is work the jab. Work the jab. He didn't listen. But maybe that was easier said than done. And Jermell Charlo got a good jab. Why he wasn't using his jab last night? Now, I ain't making no excuses, and I'm not coming with no conspiracies. We ain't talking about no gloves. We ain't talking about no water bottle. We're not talking about no referees. Jermell ain't wearing costumes, so we can't blame no costume. So I'm trying to figure out why he wasn't working the jab last night. I saw the look on Errol Spence's face after the fight. I saw the look on Jermell Charlo's face. I saw the look on Derrick James' face. I saw the look on Jermell Charlo's face. They had a look on their face like, man, we lost this. I don't care what nobody in the chat say. I'm going by what I saw with my own eyes. They had a look on their face like, man, we lost this fight. And it's like Errol Spence knew. Hold on, guys. It's like Errol Spence didn't want to say that he lost. Dropping the link. We're going to rock for about 45 minutes, man. 45 more minutes and we're going to shut it down. But not about an hour. We're going to shut it down. So I understand, bro. Like, I'm looking at Derrick James. I'm looking at their corner was looking real worried last night. Like, man, god damn, Jermell done blowed this shit, man. Man, I can't believe he's shitting on the money like that, man. God damn, dog. He didn't want to, you know what I mean? Carlos Diaz say, Harrison versus Castano. Who you got, coach? I got Castano over Harrison. But Castano need to be fighting Jermell again, but he ain't gonna see that no more. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. It can't happen because they both on the same side of the street. Both of these fighters are PBC fighters. Shout out to my brother Bo. We're gonna give a round of applause to Bo.
Hey, what up? What's going on, coach?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, and shout out to Leighton Evelyn. Round of applause for Leighton.
What's going on, coach?
Hey,
Pleasure to be here, son. Pleasure to be here, son. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bo, what you think? What you think, man? What you think about last night, man? When the fight was over with, did you see the look on Derrick James' face? Did you see the look on Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence in the audience on Jermell Charlo? Did you see the look on their face?
Man, Jermell knew he lost that fight, man. Jermell was doing a T-bow when he was reading the scorecards and whatnot. He's on that one knee doing the T-bow like he was praying and whatnot. Man, yo, that fight, like even when they was asking, Fight Hype was asking these questions and whatnot, man, like you had Errol Spence deflecting, you know what I'm saying? You had what's his name? His coach. Man, they didn't want to say nothing. They knew Jermell lost that fight, man.
Yeah. Leighton, what you got to say, bro?
Bro, I don't think he lost it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had it after 10 rounds. I had it 5-5, and I give the last two to Jermell. But I'm not gonna lie, it could have gone either way. It's like what rounds I scored, someone could have scored different. It was close. It was close. And like a draw, I can't be angry. I can't be angry. I can't be. I can't be. But to say lost, nah. You could say either
Yeah,
way.
yeah. No, Leighton, you're right about that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a close fight to me. I don't see 8-4 Castano. I didn't see that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be bold. Let me ask you a question. Maybe I could be wrong, but I gave Jermell Charlo the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th round.
I mean, I gave Jermell the last 3 rounds. That's the last 3 rounds he won. But nah, man. I overall I thought the fight was 7-5 Castano. He's
Okay.
putting that pressure on that fight reminded me of the Laura fight, man. And I thought Laura actually, was doing a little bit better behind the jab and whatnot compared to Jermell Charlo. But it was like the exact same way, man. It's like you lean up on the ropes and you let the guy come in and start teeing off on you, man. Nah, man. Jermell should have done better than what he did last night.
Leighton, let me ask you a question. What do you think? Why Jermell Charlo wasn't listening to Derrick James and fighting behind the jab? Remember, he kept saying, "Man, you can make this fight a lot easier if you just use your jab." He wasn't doing that.
Yo, coach, that's what I don't understand. Because Jermell Charlo wasn't busy enough. He wasn't busy enough. If he was busy, he would have walked that fight. And he was just like, I probably what I think he was doing was trying to heat and seek. He was trying to get him and get the big punches rather than do the work, then get the big punches. You want the big punches all the time. And they're never gonna happen, mate. You've got to work for it. You've got to work for it.
Right. He was one thing, Lady Shan, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Would you agree that, oh yeah, as a matter of fact, round of applause for Lady Shan. Sorry about that, Shan. Sorry about that. Hey, do you think that because we was talking last night, I said it looked like he's loading up. He's like this. And anytime I see Charlo like this, and he's looking on like Mr. T, come here, fool, come here, stay still. I'm here. Plenty more for you, Rob. Plenty more. And when I saw him like this, I said he's waiting on that big shot. He's telegraphing it.
He was right.
What do you think?
Because you kept saying, "Where's his jab?" Because he did come in initially with the jab, and it worked for a little minute. It didn't have much power behind the jab, but it kept Castano off him just for a little minute. And then after a while, he was just going for that load up shot. He just wanted to land the right hand, and that's why he was so tight. And when you're that tight and you've got no fluidity, he's going back to the corner, and Derek was like, "Yo, you're gonna need a knockout now." He just zoned out. You could see, guys. I don't know if you noticed when he was in the corner, he wasn't even listening to Derek.
No, he wasn't.
At all. I don't know. He was just thinking, because he's been going around interview after interview saying, "I'm going to get the knockout. I'm going to get the knockout. I'm going to get the knockout." I think he was just too stuck on the knockout.
Look at so G Martinez. So you sweet on Lady Shan, huh? He say lady looks good with her accent. It's so sexy. Oh, okay. Hey, Richard, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Richard.
How you doing, buddy?
Richard, what's going on, brother?
First of all, Charlo couldn't get through his guard. He held his hands way high for entire 12 rounds. It was fantastic. Another thing that he did was he cut off the ring and kept him in the corners. When he got against the ropes or in the corners, he couldn't do anything, and Castano uppercutted him many, many times, and he had no defense to that. He was a great infighter.
This is a question I have for you, Richard. Now, you notice when Jermell Charlo, well, this will be for the panel. I'll let everybody answer. If you watch the Tony Harrison fights, when he can be an offensive fighter at times. He can be an offensive fighter, come forward and work behind his jab. He fought totally different against Castano last night. I'm trying to figure out why.
He looked like he was taking lessons from Wilder, the way he was holding that right hand back.
Right. Shan, what you think, Shan?
He was like a statue.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Mal. Like, we was going back and forth, like saying, "Damn, maybe Mel isn't as good as what we thought he is," or it's a bit of both. Castano was. I keep equating it to Ruiz and Joshua.
Yeah. You said that
fight. I was saying it the whole night, wasn't I, Mal?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you said it the whole night. Yeah.
I was like, you overlook that guy. That guy, as soon as he gets to the inside, back. Like, and his left hook, amazing. Look what Ruiz did to AJ. Like
Left hook,
it was such a it was kind of like parallel to me. But I'm not sure why Mel was just I don't know, Mel. I have no clue. Your guess is as good as mine. No
Hey, Leighton,
clue.
what you think, Leighton?
Listen, I agree with Lady Shan. I think he overlooked him. I don't think he respected the skill the guy had. The guy beat Spence in the amateurs. The guy's a quality operator, but I think he overlooked him, and that is the truth. He was going for that power punch. He just wanted to knock him out so he looked good in front of all of his audience. But the guy was a better technical boxer than him, and that's the truth. He was technically better than him. Simple
Well, I'll
as,
tell
like, you know
you,
what I mean?
I think that both fighters took hell of a shots last night. They got
They
hit by
did.
some tremendous shots. Unless those guys can't punch, but they look like they took some tremendous shots and they weathered the storm a lot.
Man, I would say this, man. I can't say Jermell overlooked it, man, because the blueprint was already laid by Laura. To what you got to do. You got to work behind the jab and everything, man. Jermell, I think he just choked up, to be honest with you, man. That dude came in with like some pressure, put that pressure on Jermell, and Jermell just sat there and looked clueless, man. That's just my honest opinion.
But you know,
How can you choke up? How can you choke up when you're a professional boxer? Your whole idea is that's when you got to perform on the big screen. You can't choke up, mate. I boxed when I was amateur. You cannot choke up. Choke up, ta-ra, goodbye. Do you know what I mean? You can't, brother. You can't. So you can't use that as an excuse. No disrespect to you, brother, but you can't.
hold on, guys. Noonie says, I don't like how people all of a sudden are discrediting Charlo's ability. Why can't we just give credit to Castano and to Charlo for fighting the best fight? Noonie, this is what we're doing, though. We're dissecting what happens. I'm a Charlo guy. I'm not discrediting Charlo at all, but I'm pointing out the obvious. You know what I mean? The obvious was he was tight. The obvious was he was tense. The obvious was it was obvious that he was loading up on his punches. He's looking for that one punch, and he didn't fight like he normally would fight when he fought Tony Harris and all that stuff there. So those are obvious. I'm not trying to tear Mel down at all. I'm just like, dude, if you watch fight, you'll know what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I don't. Hold on. Carmen Serene said, you might be right, Bo. Some of those rounds, Mel was barely throwing any punches. Yeah, I mean, he went okay. Well, why he wouldn't throw a jab? One guy said that Mel was injured. We can't go over the injured. We're not finna come up with no conspiracies because Jermell Charlo never said he was injured.
He did in the press conference.
He said he was injured.
In the post-fight press conference. He said, but he
I didn't see that.
Excuses that his right hand or shoulder.
Yeah, come on.
He said he wasn't making excuses, but because somebody called him on it, one of the journalists said, it looked like you didn't really want to throw the right. Is there a problem? And he went, yeah, going into the fight, I've got, I think it's a shoulder injury or it could be an absolute hand. It was one of the two facts. And he went, but I don't want to make any excuses, you know. But you made an excuse. Yeah. So
Go ahead, Lee.
When Jim Gray asked the Charlo after the fight, what is your future plans? And he said to Charlo, he said to Jim Gray, my future plans are for you to ask out.
Yeah. Look, listen. I'm glad you brought that back up, Richard. This what tripped me out. Shane, Evelyn, Bo, Richard, check this out. When the fight was over with, just like Richard said, they asked him, hey, man, I think they also asked him, did he want a rematch? You see what I'm saying? Because it was a close fight. He said, man, we got to call Al. Call Al.
He was
Well, what the hell you mean? Call Al.
what does that mean?
Like these dudes kill me with this. But then when they asked Castano, you know, he said he felt like he got robbed. He wanted a rematch.
Yes.
Now, Richard, how comes Castano says both of these guys are PBC fighters? I want a rematch. Jermell Charlo, Lion, my guy, he said we want to call Al and see what's up.
That's their conditioning. What? By the way, what is Sam Watson's role in all this?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't even know what Sam does.
He gets the camera every time he can.
Isn't he like a small time promoter?
Hey, Bo, I don't even know. I don't know what Sam Watson did
years ago.
Man, to me,
let me look him up. Let me look up Sam Watkins. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead,
yeah,
Bo.
to me, man, when somebody said call Al, man, that's like ducking tactics, man. I mean, y'all in the same stable.
Ish. It just sounds like they just it's like they're drones. What do you mean call out?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he don't want the rematch, man. I mean, I understand he did told Fight Hype yesterday. Yeah, he do want that rematch, but when you say call Al, I mean, come on, man. To me, that's just like saying, yo, I don't really know about it, but call Al. I mean,
Yeah, and we want an immediate rematch. We don't want any tune-ups in between. Let's just go. Like we'll give
If
you
it's
like
PBC, you'll
4
never
months.
see it again.
Say that again.
If it's PBC, you'll never see it again.
Oh,
But
God.
you got a mandatory. You got a mandatory. That Castano
Yeah.
got a mandatory. It was in Australia, and you got to think he only earns
Yeah, but undisputed.
$500,000 to fight Charlo. But if he goes
They're
over and
both
fights,
PBC
Yeah, but
fighters, aren't they?
undisputed and
you're looking at a
unification trumps mandatory. Undisputed and unification
Yeah,
trumps
but-
mandatory.
Chan, Lady Chan, that's not a rule. That's not a rule. I know that's what everyone thinks it is, but it's not a rule. It's not a rule.
I wouldn't.
But this. Oh, go ahead, Richard. Sorry about that.
I think that Al Heyman would veto a fight because he has a chance of losing those belts, and he would veto a rematch right away.
Yeah, because another thing too is Castano's from. He's where is he from? He's Argentina.
Argentina. Toughness.
So
Toughness.
so yeah, so there's some tough fighters come out of Argentina.
Yeah,
So
Galindez and Carlos Monzon, they were
yeah,
great.
yeah, Carlos Mazon was a bad boy.
Yeah.
hey,
Um,
you saw what Terrence Crawford said about Jermell, right?
Yeah, I saw. He said Jermell Charlo lost. I don't want to talk about it or something. You want to know
Oh,
more?
he said this is the reason why. He said this is the reason why you're not on the pound for pound list because of your performances like that, or some sort.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Terrence Crawford, that's my favorite fighter, but him and Jermell. But at the end of the day, they got some kind of rift with each other because of Errol. And I get that. So I take that with a grain of salt. I am not picking no sides on that. You know what I mean? Fighters talk trash to each other. That's what they're supposed to do. But we want to see Crawford in the ring some damn body. So Bob, call Bob.
Isn't it?
Hold on, let's get this out of the way. Hey, shout out to Double A the Sagittarius for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Super chat received.
Let's see.
Time's over, boy.
Double A say call Al. What just say I want a rematch? Yeah, he won't just say I want a rematch. What up, lady Shan? Fire. I'm gonna be rocking that Dundum season hat. Okay. Double A, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So the call Al thing, like that right there is
Too much.
that, Richard, both of them are on the same. Castano is a PBC fighter.
Right, they're both PBC fighters.
So they don't need to call
Coach,
Al.
I thought he was his own boss. Boss.
Sam
If he's
Watson's
his own
gonna
boss,
go in the
well,
back
how
and
can you
make
call
him
out?
call out.
No, what you say, Richard?
Sam Watson's going to make him go in. He's going to go in the back and tell him that Al's going to be called. He's Al's messenger boy.
Yeah. Justice saying Crawford calls Bob. Exactly. Bob is the promoter. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. None of these fighters are their own bosses, except Canelo Alvarez, AJ. I'm gonna say AJ because Eddie Hearn said that I work for AJ. Whatever he tells me to do, that's what I do.
And he's got his own management company.
And he got his own management company. So Manny Pacquiao, I think he signed a one fight deal with the fight Errol Spence, but he does what he wants to do. I think out of the sport of boxing, there's 3 fighters that may be their own boss, and everybody else got a boss.
Canelo's his own boss. Canelo says that if I want to fight on the zone, I'll fight on the zone. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah, it's 3 fighters. Everybody else got to call somebody. On top, Bud got to call Bob Arum, and he make no bones about that. But Bud is not saying that he's his own boss neither.
Right, but at the end of the day, you don't hear Bud talk about, hey, call Bob. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on PBC that claims to be their own boss always say call Al.
Haney. Yeah, I forgot Noonan. I forgot about Haney. And I'm not knocking.
Did you see how salty? Did you see how salty that Spence was on that Fight Hype interview? He was mad salty. Any question you ask him, I'll go ask his trainer. Yeah, but that's it, isn't it? Did you see it, Leighton? It's only that Castano beat your ass in amateurs. I know, Mal, you always say, but that's in amateurs. But for me, it still counts as something, right?
Yeah.
And you do evolve. You can be become obviously better than what you was, or become worse. But I think he was holding that bitterness in. He was smelling himself a bit too much. Spence was acting like he was too brand new, like, you know. And then he actually just walked off from Fight Hype and didn't even say bye. Like, he just doesn't have any manners.
No, well, I think what it was, he was upset that it's, you know, the good thing is Spence did not look drunk last night. So shout out to Errol Spence. He did not look like he was sauced last night. But yeah, I think he was upset. I think he was upset that Mel, you know, a lot of people felt like Jermell Charlo lost. I mean, a lot of people feel like, man, you know, this dude lost this fight. But I'm going to tell you something, though. I'm going to tell you what I did look up. Castano had like 184 amateur fights. That's a lot. No. And Leighton, you boxed before, so you know, when someone has a hell of a pedigree like that in the amateurs, this guy has had some fights.
Mate, I've had 40 amateur fights, and like that's esteemed as like that I'm experienced. But 180 amateur fights, boy, that's different level. Trust me. When you go to the 100s and 300s, like you go Usyk and what's his name, Shevchenko, that's a different level, mate. That's a different level. But 40 amateur fights, I'm experienced. I've boxed since I was age of 10. You know what I mean? Like, but trust me, bro.
Hold on. As a matter of fact, Shan, I'm fixing to wait a minute. This guy, amateur early career. This guy had, he was like 184-4.
Yeah, that's an extensive amateur career.
Yeah, he was like 100 and I'm trying. 19. He had 2 draws right now. Amateur career. Okay, cool. Here we go.
Yeah.
This guy was. I'm trying to find it. I saw it. He was like 180 something amateur fights.
Go on Boxrec and then go on the AMs.
Yeah, I'm listening, guys. I'm telling you, this guy here, when he started in the amateurs, that's professional career.
Go on the AMs on Boxrec. Click on it where it says pros.
Oh, here it goes. 181, 5-5. So he won 181 fights. He lost 5. He had 5 draws. That guy had some experience.
This is what I'm saying. And
he took a hell of a shot too.
Right. Listen. Hold on. That's another thing. Damn, Richard, you keep making some damn good points. When Castano got hurt, the way he was able to avoid getting hit with clean shots, and both times he got hurt, surprised the hell out of me. Because normally when we see Jermell Charlo hurt somebody, he gets them out of there. Right. This guy got on the back foot. He danced around the ring. He had enough sense and wherewithal to say, I can't get hit with any more clean shots. But he still got hit with some clean shots here now and then, but he was still able. I said, this guy's in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, he trained well.
Yeah. Shan, one knock late in the bowl. One knock I will say that I had on Castano. When he got hit, he goes straight back in a straight line. He held his high guard up. He goes straight back in the line, and I'm like, damn, man, he can't be. You know what I mean?
Charlo, he had a little bit of success where he did hit to the body only like a couple of times. He should have hit to the body. He should have hit to the body more.
Oh, you talking about
his guard was so high. Castano's guard was so high.
Yeah.
Charlo did hit to the body a couple of times and had some success there. But he
Charlo
just gave up. He was just headhunting.
It was that's it. It was a wrong shot selection, right? When Charlo had him hurt, it was complete wrong shot selection, mate. Because he should have gone body head. But he didn't. He just kept going head. And that's what cost him, mate. That's what cost him. Because in those last 2 rounds, he had him. He had him. But it was just no shot selection, mate.
Hey, Richard, what you got to say, brother?
I was saying that Charlo dug some hooks into his left and right liver area that were devastating, and the kid took it, and I was surprised he took it.
Bo, what you think about how Castano was able to recover in order to keep from getting knocked out?
I mean, the guy he's very well conditioned, man. Because like I said, this fight to me played out exactly like the Lara fight. You know, he was getting hit in the Lara fight, but the dude was well conditioned, man. He'll just come back, and he got. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday on the panel, man. He got somewhat of a poor man's like peekaboo style, man, and it kind of like gets him. That's how he gets in a little bit easier. But when you go back, you know, against the ropes, man, you just giving this guy opportunity to come in on you.
Right. I totally agree with that. And there's something that I want to piggyback off what Lady Shan said. she said that Jermell did go to the body a few times and he caught him pretty good. But Richard said that Castano ate it. I was wondering why Jermell didn't go to the body more, but then just even a jab to the body. But I was thinking, I said, you know what? By Castano being 4 inches shorter, he felt like if he would have just tried to go dig to the body, he was setting himself up for a counter. Yeah. Because he's he didn't fight tall last night. Jermell 5'11". If he has to come down to hit the shorter fighter, he's bringing it. He's bringing his height down now. He's in striking range, and then you got to get in range to land the hook to the liver or whatever the case may be. So,
but coach, you agree that he couldn't get rid of his hands all night. It was stuck to his side. He was cocked and ready to go, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't pull him through.
Yeah, he couldn't pull through, and I think that like me and Shane, we was in the chat last night. I'm like, damn, come on, man. Hey, I'm over here shaking.
I was like, what was I saying? I was like, he's lost. He's lost. He's down
I was
all
like,
the
man,
I was like, he's lost. To me, he's lost. I didn't even look at the unofficial scorecards. I was like, he's lost.
I'm like, man,
I know you. I didn't have Charlo winning round 9. I had him 10, 11, 12, and the early round where he rocked Castano. I had Castano winning 8-4. I am willing to watch it again, and I'm going to do a show where I do a rewatch where we watch controversial, fights and then point score it again. So we'll be doing that in a week. But I will.
Like Lady Shan, it's like round one. Round one, it was a feeling out round, so most people could have given it 1-1. But I give it to Castano. I give it to Castano. Do you know what I mean? Each rounds are like that. It's who you choose and who you think. There was no
swing round.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different. But I give round 1 to Castano.
Hey, how y'all feel about one of the judges giving Jermell a 10-8 round?
Ridiculous. Absolutely.
Oh, wait, he gave him a 10-8 round. Which round?
Round number 10. One of the judges who scored it for Castano actually gave Jermell a 10-8 round in round number 10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wasn't there a point deducted?
Gave Jermell 10-8 rounds.
No, it wasn't.
No point deducted, mates. No point deducted.
No, there was no point deducted at all, Richard. Hey, shout out to
Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Ride of the Storm for dropping that $1.99 on your boy. He said Castano is a poor man's version of Canelo.
I fought Canelo. Canelo would destroy him.
Oh yeah. That wasn't even. Neither Charlo don't want. I don't. Yeah. No, I mean, I would love to see the fight, but Yeah. But this is another thing I want. This is another thing I wanted to talk about. Jermell's 5'11". I keep saying this. Derek James looks so frustrated in the corner. If you look at the corner, he looks so frustrated. He say, "Man, what you doing?" He say, "The man is still. He's stealing the rounds at the end."
They were sure that he lost the fight.
Why? Yeah, they were sure. Why you not working the jab? You can make this fight a lot easier by working the jab. He kept saying that to him. You are listen. The crunk style would have worked perfectly last night for Jermell Charlo. Work that Tommy. Listen, Tommy Hitman Hearns would have got Castano out of there.
Oh, that wouldn't have been a fight.
Yeah, he would have killed Buddy. He would have got him out of there because, listen, you all of that coming for.
We gotta give Castano props and credit, man. The dude he comes with his punches and bunches. He's a good pressure fighter. He's got a great chin. I mean, we do got to give him credit. Chin. You got to give him credit. I watched the Lara fight. That was a boring fight. That resulted in a draw as well. Don't know how, because I feel that he actually got the best out of Ugas, but he beat up Ugas in my opinion. But it seems like dude keeps getting draws. So
there was another fight on. I'm gonna tell you another guy who I said if he steps in the ring with someone on Roland Romero. Listen, Shane, I know you're gonna think I'm tripping when I say this. If he steps in the ring,
sorry, not Ugas, Lara. Yeah.
Lara. Sorry. If Romero steps in the ring with someone of a higher caliber that's on his level, his ass is in trouble. I'm gonna tell you why. What I saw from Romero last night, loading up on the punch, looking for that. Okay, that's it. This it. This the one. This the one. I'm waiting on it. Maybe he did it because he didn't respect the guy he was boxing.
I didn't watch it. I went to sleep. I started watching the undercard, fell asleep, and then my friend had to ring me for the main thingy.
No, I was talking about Richard. I was talking about Rolly Romero. He was on the undercard.
Yeah, he fought Yigit, didn't he?
Yeah, Yigit. Yeah, he fought Yigit. Yeah. He fought him.
He's not a great fighter.
No, you know who? Which one? Yigit?
Roland Romero. He's not a great fighter.
Did he drop his opponent, Rolly?
He stopped him. He won TKO. But what I'm saying is it was. I don't know if it was because he didn't respect the guy. You know what I mean? But he was just. I said this dude is. It's obvious what he's trying to do. It's obvious he's waiting on the right hand. He's looking tight. He reminds me so much of Jermell Charlo to me.
Yeah.
You know.
He needed to be fighting Haney or something? Is he want to come through and fight Haney?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who is he offering out? Tank?
Yeah, I don't know. He's saying he won't Tank. I think Tank put him to sleep though.
Tank would snooze him.
Right.
Definitely.
Hey, we got Santos in the building, and we got Young Billionaire. What's going on, fam?
What's up, coach? The rest of the panel. Yeah,
hey,
man, I just wanted to holler at you. I dozed off earlier when you first come on, but I just wanted to jump on and tell you, man. Last night when we were conversing about that fight, it was a great fight. First of all, second of all, I think a lot of people know who Castano is now, and he was already a proven durable fighter before we got to know him. But now, I think the world knows that he's a much greater fighter than what we knew. Last night, I kind of got in my feelings a little bit, as you probably realized, about that judge on that 17-11 score. And I think a lot of people did as well. They both fought a great fight. I think for the most part, we expected a level of performance from Jermell. And we're so used to him either coming back and putting the guy down or overwhelming his opponent. And that was not the case last night. We had a very seasoned veteran who came in there, who wasn't afraid, who had great technique and style in his fighting. And he gave Jermell something to think about last night. And it was a great fight. Basically, opposed to what I was saying last night, I want to change that up a little bit. And I've had time to reflect and think about it, take my biases out of it. And because I was really pissed at that judge last night because I get tired of stuff like that in the game of boxing. But regardless of what we feel about the wide 17-11 score, if that judge had been 14-13 for Jermell, it wouldn't have changed the results. It would have been the same results.
I said that. Okay. I said that earlier. You were asleep, but I said that earlier. It wouldn't change anything.
So I just want to say, I'm not going to trip about that 17-11 deal. A draw was probably the best thing that we probably could have got out of that fight for the simple fact we get to see it again. And maybe the next time it'd be more clear about what happened. I'm not going to pass judgment on what that true score should have been, in my opinion, until after I watch the fight again. I'm going to watch it again because a lot of times when you watch it the first time, you're watching it live, you're excited, you're seeing something that you're thinking you see, or you're not seeing something that you're thinking you see. So I'm going to go in and watch that fight again. This time I'm going to be scoring the fight. And I think Jermell did a little bit better down the stretch than I gave him credit for last night. So I'm going to go back in there and watch that fight again and do my best to be non-biased and put a score on there. But I thought about some of the stuff you were saying last night, Malachi. I think you were probably right in some of the stuff you were saying about some of those rounds. And I was just so caught up with that. When they said split decision, I knew it was a draw at that point. But at the same time, I was so pissed about that 17-11, I didn't want to hear anything else about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Let me get this super chat out of there. Then Young Billionaire, we're gonna go to you next.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Ronell for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He said, y'all know Crawford is Castano's mandatory when he moves up to 154. I see Crawford doing this sooner than later. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know from what my inside sources have told me, like I'm deep undercover. But now Bud out of there October, so we're going to see. I don't know what he's going to do.
Is he actually the mandatory? Because I thought Castano had the WBA title.
No, he's saying
he got WBO.
WBO.
Oh, he has the WBO from
okay,
Patrick
okay.
Teixeira.
Yeah. He's saying if Bud decide to move up, he can move up and fight Castano and get that. Oh, you know what? I can't even say that because it's going to be up to Al Heyman.
Yeah, that wouldn't even.
You don't want
and that ain't gonna be.
But the WBO is strict though. The WBO is strict. Like if you move up right as the title holder from an earlier from the lower weight class, you move up. That makes you like the automatic number
That's
one
how he
contender.
got the Jeff Horn. That's how you got the Jeff Horn fight right away because he was he won all the belts at 140 and he was the 140 man, 147 mandatory for the WBO. That's how you got the Jeff Horn fight right away.
You know what? Yeah, Young Bean, I didn't even know that. I thought that I was under the impression, brother, that Jeff Horn was with Top Rank, and that's how that happened.
He got another promoter out there in Australia, but and then he does business with Top Rank, but he was a WBO champion, so Crawford was able to go up immediately and challenge him.
That's why Usyk is the mandatory for Joshua right now because of that WBO.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Y'all just educated me on something. I didn't know that. I mean, that might be the best move because if Crawford and Errol don't fight at welterweight, then shit, both of them, Crawford should just go ahead and move up or whatever. And I know he's leaving Top Rank in October, so I don't know what he's going to do. You know what I mean? But
I wouldn't take the Castano fight because it's not one of those money fights. Like, it wasn't even pay-per-view last night. So why would you, do that?
They couldn't sell that fight.
Billionaire. Boy, I'm glad you said that. Pay-per-view. Now, if they was to run it back, and because of the buzz that we heard about this fight, if they was to run it back and say it's going to be a pay-per-view fight, Big Young Billionaire, would you pay for it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Santos, would you pay for it?
Shoot, man, I love boxing better than sex, man. You know I would.
Mr. Richard, would you pay for it?
I'd pay for it, but I don't think anybody else would.
You don't think so?
No, I think that for the astute boxing watcher, you'll buy that fight because you're interested in what happened based on what happened in the first fight. But I don't think anybody's going to buy that. There's no names in that fight.
Lady Sam, what do you think?
No, I disagree with
that. We had to buy it to see it anyway, so I bought it.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. Bo, what about you?
I would definitely pay for it, but I'm along with Richard, man. They got to build up that undercard to be tight, man, because this fight was action packed last night, and it could create more of a buzz, especially if you get that undercard stacked.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to my brother Punch Drunk Boxing. Punch Rock in the building. Y'all please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think that if they come back and run it back, I would pay for this pay-per-view because I think based on the controversy, a lot of I'm bold. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been online looking. A lot of people are saying that they felt like, especially on Twitter, if you go on a Twitter poll, they felt like that Jermell lost the fight. Right? They felt like he lost the fight. I'm gonna look at it again, like Santos said. I'm gonna look at it again. And I think that me looking at it, I'll be able to get a better assessment of it. But one thing I think I am still going to see when I watch that fight again, I'm going to see Jermell Charlo look tense. I'm going to see him look tight. I'm going to see him looking like Clubber Lane and telegraphing what he's trying to do. He's waiting. As soon as you come in, I'm going to throw this hard right hand. As soon as you come in, I'm going to throw it. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't relaxed. I know if I could watch that fight 20 times, I'm going to take that away from it. And then that would let me know, this is because Castano was the total opposite. He was very calm. Santos, let me ask you a question. I know you can go for an hour. So I need the condensed version of this question that I'm gonna ask you. The condensed answer. Why Jermell Charlo was not fighting aggressive, why he was not using his jab. He's 5'11". He had a 6-inch arm reach. Why he did not use his advantages to use his height and reach advantage in the fight, like Derrick James told him to.
Well, the number one reason, I think it might be two hypothetical reasons that was he wasn't using, but the number one reason I feel is because Castano surprised him, showed him that he could hit, and he was very crafty, and Jermell didn't want to get caught with something silly. That's the number one reason I think he didn't use. That's my opinion. The second reason I think may be hypothetical. During the post-fight interviews, one of the media persons asked him about. It may not have been his jab hand though, but he asked him about his shoulder. He had some kind of deal going on with his shoulder, and he said he didn't want to use that as an excuse. He said it's been something he's been dealing with for a while. So that's my take on it. I really don't know any other reason. What
shoulder it was? The left or the right shoulder?
That's right. After I brought that up, I'm not sure which one, but it looked like he had a knot or something in his right shoulder. But I'm thinking his jab hand is his left hand, of course.
Okay, okay. Hey, young billionaire brother, I know you've been patient, man. Why do you think Jermell wasn't like using his jab? He had a short guy in front of him. You know what I mean? 67-inch arm reach versus a 73-inch arm reach. 5'11" versus 5'7.5". Like, why? You see what I'm saying? That's what frustrated me. I didn't see the same Jermell Charlo that I saw in the Tony Harris fight. What you got to say, young billionaire? You still there, brother?
He's on mute.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, young being. Well, he muted himself. I can't unmute him. Mm-hmm. All right. Richard, what you well, I think you already addressed that, Richard, about why Jermell wasn't using his jab.
Well, all I can say is the kid cut off the ring like a real pro, and he kept him in the corners and on the ropes. And when he got on the ropes, Jermell was in big trouble.
Hey, Bo,
tried to dance away, but it didn't work.
Bo, were you impressed? I'm glad Richard said that. Were you impressed with Castano's footwork in that fight?
Yeah, I mean, I was. I mean, he does move around. You know what I'm saying, to get on the inside and stuff. So I was a little impressed with it. Okay,
Rodnell, what you say, brother? He say Jermell is still the best 154 pounder, but Castano is there. They have to run it back. Yeah, they have to run it back. They got to run it back, man. They have to run it back. That was an even fight. It is what it is, whether we agree or not. It was an even fight. I was shocked that we had a fight for undisputed junior middleweight champion of the world, and we still do not have an undisputed champion. We still do not have an undisputed. So, I mean, okay. Next question, Santos, is Al gonna make this? You think Al gonna make this fight?
No.
Richard, you say no. Why?
Well,
hold on, Santos. Richard, you say no. Why?
The first of all, Castano's a PBC fighter, isn't he?
Yeah, yes, sir. He's a PBC fighter.
And I think that he sees bad things coming from a rematch. He knows Charlo might lose it, and he's not so anxious to make this fight. He's good. They take his mandatories first.
Santos, what you think, brother?
I think the rematch, it may happen or may not happen because of Jermell. It's all about him. Last night in the post fight interview, when they asked him about it, he said, "Yeah, we can run it back." He said, "But I don't know when that'll be." So, and then before that, in the ring at the end of the fight, he said, "You got to talk to Al." All right. Now, first of all, these guys are their own promoters. You don't have to talk to Al. Only thing I got to talk to Al about is all the inner workings of the money, the business of the fight. As far as saying yes or no to a fight, these guys call their own shots, believe it or not. He doesn't want a rematch anytime soon with this guy, is what I took from his interview last night. And you might see, if Bud actually moves up, you may see Bud fight this guy because of the rule of the WBO and the fact that Jermell is not trying to push the issue up of the situation. He is the A side. So if he tell Al he wants to fight, Al will make the fight. I mean, Al doesn't lose out. They're both PBC fighters.
Right. You know what, Santos, you hit the nail right on the goddamn head. He doesn't lose out. They both PBC fighters. Young billionaire, what you got to say about that, brother?
You know what? When you were asking about why was Jermell so timid, and
Yes,
why
sir.
wasn't he fighting him like Tony Harrison? You know what? We always talk about Jermell having an iron chin.
Uh-huh.
Well, in that third round, after Castano got hurt in the second, Castano hit Jermell so hard that his legs buckled on the ropes, and that's one of the few times in his career I've really seen Jermell buckle like that. And I
Right.
think from that point, when you were asking about why didn't he go to the body,
Yes,
when
sir.
he goes to the body on the shorter fighter, he gives Castano the opportunity to throw that mean overhand right he was throwing from Argentina, and he was throwing a mean counter left hook every time Mel was throwing his hook. So I think if Jermell would have committed to the body, it would have left him a lot more open for that left hook that he got caught with in that third round. So that's why I think he started to respect Castano's power more than we gave Castano credit for it, because he felt Castano in there, and I guarantee you that was the most, like you said, Mel showed him more respect than any other opponent he's ever fought before.
Yes, sir. And you know what, young billionaire, I'm glad you said that, because when I brought it up earlier, I was like, man, you know what? If he would have committed went to the body, he got to make himself shorter. He's going to come down. He's going to come down to where Castano was at, and that's going to leave him open to counters. So
and remember when he got hurt, Coach, he got hit with that left hook, throwing the left hook, and he got buckled. So imagine if he was digging to the body, that right hand that he keeps up for that right hand and that left hand that he keeps up for defense, he would have been a lot more open for Castano's combination punching on the ropes if he would have been digging to the body like that. Like you said, he drops himself to Castano's height, where and Castano was putting on a lot of pressure, and also this was one of the few times he actually respected one of his opponent's power, because I don't think, like, you seen how he was trading with Tony. He was trading with Tony in the rematch. He stood right there. I mean, Tony was pushing him back, but he was trading. He was taking the body shots. He was taking the left hook, and he exchanged left hooks with Tony when he knocked him out in the 11th round. It seemed like he was a little bit more gun shy with your boy Castano.
Yeah, hey, Carmen Serene, I don't want to interrupt you, Bo. Carmen Serene, you said you guys in this imaginary leg buckling. Carmen, my sister, please go back and watch the fight again. The man, Jermell Charlo is my guy. Pause. He's my guy, but the man legs did buckle.
He was in trouble.
The ropes saved. If it wasn't for the ropes, he would have had a knockdown against Charlo in the third round.
No doubt about it.
Everybody saw the same thing, Carl. I mean, but I know you love Jermell, but I'm telling you, go back and watch that fight again. He got buckled. He got buckled. Bo, what you got to say, brother?
Hey, I agree with Young Billionaire and Santos, man. I mean, y'all broke down, gave great analysis of it, man. The thing is, man, I don't know, man. Does Jermell have a problem fighting on the inside? Because when he did catch Tony Harrison was clowning in that second fight, man, and he just left himself wide open. Now you had a guy like the guy last night, I forgot his name, but he was coming in. He came in, he meant business, man, and I guess Charlo just looked a little confused, man, like kind of gun shy, whatever, man. But yeah, man, that's a great breakdown from Young Billionaire and Santos, man.
Yeah, Young Billionaire broke it down like a 57-7. Lady, say what you got to say.
Not much, man. Not much. I said what I said. Yeah, just
go ahead.
I still got Castano winning, and that's it. Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, Santos. What you gonna say?
Yeah, what I was gonna say. I know in the post-fight interview, the twins gave and Derek, what's his trainer?
Derek James.
Yeah, they gave all three of them and some more people in the crowd. They gave more credit to Harrison being the top fight that he's the best challenger that Jermell has ever competed against, opposed to the guy last night. But I'm gonna tell you the difference I noticed between the two. This guy, first of all, it was a kind of surprise as far as how effective he was, but he was shorter and he was smothering Jermell a little bit more. Harrison gave him a little bit more room to work, even though Harrison was a better boxer and was putting them things on him a little bit, more accurate. But he wasn't smothering Jermell. I think that was the difference last night. This guy was smothering him a little bit, and he was effective with his punches at the same time. His footwork was right, and that makes a world of difference. Plus, he had more, him and Harrison had two fights. The second fight, he was able to figure it out by the time he caught him. He's never been in the ring with this guy last night. So it may have been one of the differences there.
Hey, shout out to Devil of the Sagittarius for dropping the $2 super chat on me.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Trevor Bryan.
He said off topic. Shout out to Coach and boy Trevor Bryan. That's right, Trevor Bryan, the greatest and current greatest. He is the only American heavyweight champion that we currently have today. That's my dog. I'm promoting him. Everybody ducking him, and I'm gonna do a show dedicated to the only American heavyweight champion in the world that we have currently today, in Trevor Bryan from Albany, New York. So I had to plug that in. I got to plug that in. The Terminator. Centos, you don't know nothing about that, man. You don't know nothing about it. Hey, y'all being there, you don't know nothing about Trevor Bryan, dog. You don't know nothing about him, man.
He's a Don King fighter.
Oh, yeah. He's a Don King fighter, too. Yeah, absolutely. Post Drug say, guys, Charlo was never a knockout artist. His power increased when he left Shields and started sitting more on his punches. Charlo can. I don't know if he was a knockout artist, but Charlo can crack, bro. Man, that dude can crack. I was just he can crack now. He can crack. The only thing I wish, what I noticed, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Bruce goes. I'm gonna let you go. What I noticed in this fight was Charlo does not listen to Derek James, or he didn't listen to him last night. And I'm trying to figure out. And I saw frustration when they showed. When they showed in between rounds, where Derek James was talking to Jermell Charlo, and then they showed when Castano's corner was talking to him. You know, Castano corner looked like it was a little bit more calmer. Derek James looked like he was frustrated. He was frustrated, like, man, god damn, man, you ain't listening. You can make this fight. He saying, go back and watch the fight again. He kept saying, you can make this fight a lot easier. Use your jab. Bruce goes. What you got to say about that, fam?
Hey, salute, Coach. Just wanted to jump in and throw my 2 cents in, man.
Hold on. Give you a round of applause, man. Give you a round of applause.
Thank you, big dog. Thank you.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Man, I was entertained thoroughly by that fight, man. I thought that was a great fight. Charlo got his Christmas present early with that draw, man. I thought Castano. He was in the proudest. Excuse me, lost my train of thought here. The proudest tradition of Argentine boxers, man. He came in there with his head on Charlo's chest. He was throwing bombs. Charlo tried to get off the ropes. He wouldn't let Charlo get off the ropes. He kept him there. Derek James was telling him, get in the center of the ropes and do what you do best. Castano wouldn't let him do it, man. He was tough. He was like Juan Roldan tough, man. He was banging those lefts and rights to the body. When Charlo tried to get off the ropes, he'd get whacked in the head with a right hand, come back, he'd get hit with a left hook. I think he went down in the 3rd round. Those ropes saved him, and I really think it was a gift decision of a draw. I'd have to give that to Castano 8-4. That's the way I scored the fight, brother.
Me too. 8-4.
Agreed.
Bruce, you gave it 8. You gave it 8-4 too, Richard?
I would say that it's 7-5 or 8-4.
Mine was 8-4.
7-5.
I gave Santos. I know because Santos, we had what man you had, Santos? I know I said, I was trying to lean towards
9. I didn't.
Santos, I was trying to lean towards Charlo so bad. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I was trying.
Well, like I was open minded about the fight last night. The whole time, the majority of the time I was watching it, but at the same time, I was more worried about this kid getting robbed. And when I didn't know, I didn't actually score the fight round for round. I was just looking at what I saw, and I was like, I think this kid's putting a little whooping on him. I saw him stack up 4 or 5 straight rounds in the middle of the, from the middle, early to the middle of the fight. But like I said, when I heard split decision, I knew it was a draw. But when I heard 17-11, it just pissed me off about everything because I was like, this kid fought his heart out. But like I said, I'm going to go back and watch it before I pass judgment and rescore the fight so I can give an honest assessment about it without biasness and score the fight round for round. I think Jermell might, when I reflect on the fight, I think he may have done himself a little bit more justice in those last 4 rounds than what I gave him credit for last night. So I don't want to say I think a draw right now, in my mind, a draw is the best thing going, and I think that was an honest assessment of the fight from just from most the two judges that scored it fairly in the unofficial scoring that they did on it. But for me to sit here and say one of these guys beat the other, I can't do that right now.
Go ahead.
Oh, you know what, Coach? You know what else I think surprised Jermell?
What's
How
that?
you know how he hurts opponents, like you said earlier.
Right.
I think he was surprised how experienced dude was in survival mode. How a dude was able to just bounce away, avoid the kill shot.
Right.
I think he was surprised that dude didn't fold. Like in the second round, he hurt the shit. I mean, he hurt the heck out of him. And in round 10,
That's
survived at least
exactly.
the last minute 30. I mean,
Bro,
he survived at least he had like a minute 30 left to survive after he got hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bro,
goodness.
I can't agree with you on that because I think that's what Charlo thought. He thought he was going to slow him down in the 7th, 8th round, and it just didn't happen. This kid just kept coming forward. He
That's
was
why I said
tough,
I think
man.
he surprised
No,
Charlo.
Bruce,
He's got victories. He's got victories over freaking Charlo. Excuse me. He's got victories over Spence. He's got victories over Devinchenko.
Derevchenko, yeah, I know, but Charlo still thinks he's that guy. He said amateurs didn't mean anything. I think he underestimated the guy, bro. I really do.
I do too, man. I think Charlo woke up with an early Christmas present, man.
You know what? I agree with you on that. When Castano got hurt, I was shocked that he was able to survive another minute and a half in that round. I think it was the 10th round.
10th round it was.
I thought, then remember, Mel went after him and was throwing all kind of crazy punches, and I thought Mel was connecting. But when I saw the slow-mo, he missed most of those shots he threw because he got reckless. He got reckless, and he was trying to get him out of the kill shot, and that's because he was tight, like Clubber Lane. You know, I got him, fool. I got him. Stay still. You know, he was swinging, and he was missing. And I'm like, he's going to catch him. He's going to catch him. And he couldn't get him out of there with the kill shot.
Coach Castano's a real pro. He had his guard high. He took a lot of punches on the arms. And when he got inside, he did a lot of great work, especially with the uppercut and the roundhouse hooks. He was fantastic.
You know what I mean? So again, I'm not the one that's saying that Castano got robbed. I can easily see that it could have been a draw. It was a draw because to me, no one really like pulled away. Certain rounds you can say, okay, Charlo did good. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I want to take a different approach from Santos, man. I thought the right thing, they should have just gave it to Castano because I guarantee you one thing. If the judges would have gave it to Castano, I don't think you would have heard anything from Jermell Charlo talk about Cole Al. He would have been like, yo, I want that rematch. Just like he did when he took the first loss from Tony Harrison. He was set on getting that rematch. So if they would have gave Castano that, I don't think it would have been no Cole Al.
Let me ask you a question. Because this is very valid I'm fixing to make. I heard some people say, well, man, you know, Jermell Charlo, he landed the harder shots. I said, okay, cool. Hard shots does not mean you won the round. If you're fighting a guy, he's outlanding you. Let's say we're fighting in a round, I land 25 punches on you. But you hit me with one hard shot and I get hurt. Does that mean you won the round? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that he doesn't get knocked down or anything. I'm saying that's how the judges, you know, the judging is subjective. So if you say, well, Castano, Jermell landed the harder shots, okay, well, are you totally ignoring the fact that when Castano had caught Jermell a couple of times and buckled him? Because he not only buckled him in the 3rd round, he buckled him again later on in the fight.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So you know, you can't, you know, so that's just my counter to that. Oh, well, Mel landed the hard, clean shots to you because you know maybe you're a fan of Mel and that's what you was looking for. But if he land 1 or 2 good, hard, clean shots, but this guy land 20 shots, you know what I mean? You know, I can't say Mel won the round because he landed two hard shots. That's my counter argument to that.
Coach, that's what Ali used to do. He used to fight for take off the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the round, and then the last 30 seconds he used to bring it on.
Punch says flurries don't win rounds. It's still rounds. Guess what? Yeah, it's still rounds. Exactly. Sugar Ray was a master at that, especially when he fought one of my heroes, Tommy Hearns. He was a master at that when he fought Tommy Hearns. I'm not Tommy Hearns.
That was Hagler.
Marvin Hagler. All right, Hagler. Hagler was mad as hell.
Yeah, but Hagler won that fight.
Yeah. But he lost. He lost in Vegas.
I know he lost it.
Yeah.
He won it.
Yeah, Hagler was mad as hell. Oh, but this man throwing flurries.
Yeah, De La Hoya was good at that too. Yeah, throw flurries at the end of the round.
Hey, so some people.
De La Hoya was missing everything when he was still in the round. He was just throwing his hands out there.
Especially when De La Hoya fought Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah,
man, oh my God, bro. You don't get me started. You guys know how I feel about Pernell Whitaker. I got Sweet Pea. Matter of fact, I got Sweet Pea right here, guys. Let me show y'all Sweet Pea. Ta-da. Well, I got Sweet Pea right there.
Yeah.
I got Sweet Pea right in the Ring Magazine, WBC champ, and IBF champ. Shit, I got Sweet Pea. Matter of fact, I got Sweet Pea right there. So I'm just saying, bro, like De La Hoya, and then some people say, oh man, when you fight, the fight go to the aggressor. That's how they used to score it, the aggressor. That's how they did with Chavez fights. All Chavez had to do was go forward. I don't know if you remember this, Santos. You probably do. All he had to do was go forward. He got points for just going forward. Even if he threw 10 punches and missed and got hit 20 times, in Vegas anyway.
You can't always go by who's coming forward. Especially if you got two fighters in the ring, one's going forward, one's going back, when neither one of them throw a punch.
Right.
Then what? You know what I'm saying? So
they adjust that on aggression, right? Aggression factors into that.
Is it aggressive if you're not throwing in punches? Are you just walking around at that point?
No, I totally agree with you, but it's just all about, judges look at the aggression and stuff like that. Just like when they talk about power shots compared to numerous shots, right? They want to know if those shots, like you can't throw pity pat shots and expect to win rounds, and the guy hitting you with power shots in that same round. So they're gonna look at the effectiveness of the punches itself.
Yeah, that's different. But I'm saying if you got two fighters making a circle in the ring, I've seen a fight recently with two guys for at least a minute and a half. Neither one of them threw a punch, and I had somebody in my ear talking about he's being more aggressive. I said, man, neither one of them throwing a punch.
Excuse me, it's effective aggression. That's the criteria.
Okay, yeah,
my man. When you're boxing, they will tell you got to throw a punch. I don't care if you're walking or running in the ring. You have to throw a punch. Even if you miss the punch, you got to throw a punch. If you ain't throwing no punches, that's not effective aggressiveness.
I don't disagree with you, right? But we have seen fighters get the benefit of the doubt in rounds, whereas though they haven't even thrown a punch. Or they just, the guy was missing shots and he just made them look bad, and they still got the win.
You can't get a tie in a round. Both fighters can score 9-9 or 10-10. That has happened. Now, and I know earlier you guys were saying you disagree with the 10-8 round. When I'm being biased and it's my fighter that I'm rooting for, I would disagree with it too. But I'm gonna tell you this, because last night in that 10th round, I think that was a turning point of the fight.
It was.
If they gave him 10-8, I don't think it's unjustifiable. For the simple fact that man admitted to everyone that he was hurt throughout the 10th round and the beginning of the 11th round. So I don't, and he got on his passive. So that judges have that leeway to score that fight that way, around that way, if they want to make it a 10-8. If they see a fighter that hurt. At that time I was pulling for Castano. Trust me, Malachi could verify that. But at the same time, I'm not opposed to that kind of stuff. I've had the opportunity to sit and listen to officials and judges when I was an amateur talk about how they score rounds. So I have no problem with that.
So let me ask you a question. If he would have got knocked down, would that referee would have said, would that judge would have said, okay, well, I'm gonna give him a 10-8 round, but now he got knocked down, I'm gonna make it a 10-7 round?
No, that ain't how it works, Malachi.
That's rare.
If you have a judge has the discretion to score a fight a round as a 10-8 round, no matter if that's a knockdown or not. If a fighter is in trouble, severely in trouble, that quantifies as a 10-8 round. He doesn't necessarily have to go down. The judges have that discretion.
Right.
Discretion
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
that.
They had a discretion. I mean, that's why I say it's subjective. If you're a fan of Jermell Charlo like I am, you would say, yeah, I ain't got a problem with the 10-8 round. Now I had a problem with the 10-8 round. And I was rooting for Jermell, you know that. I had a problem with the 10-8 round, or he got hurt in the fight. Okay, well shit, Jermell Charlo got hurt in the fight too. Yeah, it may be. I mean, like it's like no, I get it. I'm a diehard Jermell Charlo fan, but I can't sit here and lie and say my eyes did not see what I saw. I saw Jermell get buckled. I saw him damn near go down the bottom
And the
rope.
rope saved.
Rope saved him. He got back up.
The rope saved.
I think the bell rung shortly after that, or whatever the case may be. I could have easily said, that could have been a 10-8 round. But a diehard Jermell Charlo fan would have totally disagreed with that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, in most cases, when it's a quick situation where the rope saves a fighter like that, you may 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna get a 10-8 round out of that because the judges are using their eyes to see the fight. But when you see a guy that's hurt for more than a minute and a half more of the round, you probably gonna get one of those judges to score at 10-8 9 times out of 10.
Hey, go ahead. Go Young Billionaire. Go ahead, brother. Sorry about that.
No, I was just talking about, speaking of judges. What did y'all think about that Aline versus Vidal Jr.
That was a great fight.
But did y'all think it was the right winner?
I'm gonna start watching that for this week. But yeah,
Jamaica. Yeah, I have
They
to
need to
go,
run
I
that
have to
fight
go back
back,
and
too.
watch the undercard. I didn't even watch the undercard.
I watched
Yeah, I saw that. Hold on, Aline. Yeah, that was the guy from. Wait a minute.
From
Aline.
From Richmond, Virginia.
Aline. I think Aline. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Aline won that fight.
Me too.
Yeah, that was the first fight.
Me too. Yeah, the shorter guy. He was.
Yeah, I thought he won that fight.
He was laying the most effective shots most of the rounds.
Right. Hey, Punch, go ahead, bro.
What's good?
What's going on?
Oh man, I had to stop, bro. I had to stop, man. I was driving. I just had to stop, man. I had to get a
What
combo.
What happened?
So hold on. See, I scored it. This is what I scored it. Yeah, I got a lot of flack. I scored it 116, 112.
Punch, we can't. You breaking up?
I'm in the country, man.
You got.
I'm good.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's still bad.
Go ahead.
It's good or it's bad?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right, so yeah, I got a lot of flack because I had a 116, 112 Charlo, yet with 3 swing rounds. Now, when we're talking about swing rounds, it could go either way. You give all the swing rounds to Castano, and it'll be a 114, what the judges gave it anyway. I think what people forget, to score, I think this bout was actually like a fight, right? But once it goes to the scorecards, it's the point system. Now, when Castano got him on the ropes, it's not like he's landing every shot that he throws. I think people talk about it like, yeah, he had him on the ropes. Okay, that doesn't mean he landed every shot. Some of the shots was landing. Some of the shots hit the elbow. Some of the shots was blocked. When in the middle of the ring, Jermell Charlo was throwing jabs, 1, 2. Those count too. And I think that people wasn't counting that. Remember, it's 3 men. Who controls the 3-minute intervals? Not who throws flurries for 30 seconds. Not Castano looking good for 20 seconds. Who controls the 3-minute intervals? So if you got Jermell Charlo throwing little jabs here and there, and then he gets on the rope, he pushed this dude on the ropes to get. He pushed what's his name, Brian Castano, off the ropes as well. He had success in the ropes as well while he was getting hurt, and he had success countering off the ropes. I'm not going to say that they don't know the point system, but when it's a close fight, you got to go by the criteria. Clean, effective punches. It has to be clean, effective punches, effective punches.
Okay, so we go by that, right? If we go by that, what you just said, why Jermell Charlo didn't win the fight?
That's what I'm saying. It could be a draw, but this robbery stuff ain't no robbery.
So, hey, Punch, I got a question. So, you actually off your scorecard, you basically gave Jermell a 10-8 round yourself.
No, I never gave. Like I got my scorecard right here.
You
I
said
did it live.
you said 115, 112, right?
No, he
You
had
said
116. He had 116, 112.
oh, 116, 112. I thought you said
What?
115, 112. All right.
No, 116, 112 with 3 swing rounds. So it could go either way. So a 115, 113 Castano, good. A 114, 114, good. A 115, 113 Jermell Charlo, good.
Okay, so basically you was cool either way. If Castano would have won, you was cool with it.
Yeah, I was cool with it.
Okay. All right. So Punch.
Because a lot of people, because a lot of people saying that, oh, Castano won, but but a lot of people felt like there was way more than just multiple swing rounds. There was a lot of swing rounds. So where those swing rounds are going?
Yeah, but as you know, my favorite word, subjection. It's all subjective. In your subjective opinion, the way you scored it, Jermell won 116, 112. That's how you scored it. But I can see the argument the other way. Now, I don't agree with robbery. I don't think he got robbed. I don't think he got robbed at all because it wouldn't have been a draw, in my opinion. Well, now I've seen robberies that were a draw. Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez. Yeah, we saw that. Pernell beat the brace off Chavez. It was a draw. So we saw that before, but that fight was not to that caliber last night. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna look. I gotta look at it again, but I gotta look at it again and try to look at it from what your point of view, and I'm gonna look at it again to see if I saw. Because I saw Jermell when they did. There's a lot of shots I saw that Jermell was throwing that I thought he was landing clean, but when they showed like especially when Castano got hurt, when they showed the slow mo, he wasn't landing a lot of those shots. He landed the initial shot that hurt him, but then the follow up shots, where Castano was going backwards, Jermell was missing. So
they both were missing a lot of shots last night.
After the press conference, I spoke to Castano. Castano said, "Me lastimó tres veces," meaning he hurt him 3 times in the fight. He said he couldn't feel his legs from the 10th round all the way to the mid 12th round.
Right. So let me ask you a question. How many times did Jermell Charlo get hurt last night?
Once, I think. That he was buzzed the second round in the ropes.
Yeah, I got him. Yeah, you got to look at that fight again. He got hurt a couple times that fight.
Man, my thing with this Punch, man.
I was ringside. I saw them getting hit with clean shots. Both of them had chins. That's what I saw. I saw clean shots. I saw Mel landed cleaner shots in the middle of the ring where he was hitting those jabs and 1-2. And this is where I was saying, because I was doing my scorecard and the whole bunch of media people was like, "Oh, you was doing the scorecard, how much you had it." The crowd was even cheering. It was like half and half, but then the crowd was taken over by Jermell's performance. I think the crowd was mad about the 117, 111 more than anything else, and then they just forgot about everything else. I think the 117, 111 really like set the tone for all this, in my opinion. I think it was a great fight. It depending how you score the fight and how you know how to score a fight. If it's a close fight, you got to go down the criteria. Then it's going to go all the way to the number 4 criteria, and that's defense. If you look at this guy's face, you look at Jermell's face. If he was getting hit with clean power punches, 200 plus, why Jermell Charlo looking like he's going to the club?
No, I totally disagree with that, Punch. Go ahead on, Bo.
Hey, Punch, here's my thing, man. Body language tells everything. And at the end of the fight, while they was reading the scorecards, you could tell Jermell, he didn't really look comfortable, man. I mean, the dude was T-bowing, you know what I'm saying, while they was reading the scorecards and whatnot. So even in his head, he thought he lost that fight.
And not only that, Derek James was telling him, he said, "Man, you're giving the rounds away."
Even at the press conference, in my opinion, just watching it from home, Mel didn't look that. He looked, when you've got that sense of embarrassment, you look slightly embarrassed.
Right.
He knew he didn't win. He knew it, or he knew he didn't do enough to win.
No, but no, this what got me. Derek James. Derek James said,
I think
you need a knockout to win this fight.
Because he saw the unofficial scorecards, and he was that when we was talking every round. I was going and Santos. We was like, I was like, he's down on them cards without even seeing the cards. I was like, he's down.
Yeah, he didn't look sure of himself. To me, I mean, yeah, T didn't look sure of himself to me. Punch. I mean, Jermell Charlo is my guy. Terrence Crawford, Jermell. I have a few fighters that I really, really rock with. I like Jermell a lot, and I'm like, man, I don't see that same guy, man. Like in the ring, like and when the fight was over with, they had a worried look on their face, like they wasn't sure. I mean, I know you were sure. You were sure, obviously, Punch, but.
Yeah,
but
Derek James, Derek James, he didn't when he first saw that he was down on the unofficial cards. He told him that he needed knockout, and he told me he was down. Right. But not only did he say it then, but he doubled up and said it at the beginning of the 12th round that he needed a knockout. And so when they even Jermell, I was looking at it today, the tail end of it on my phone. Even Jermell, when his brother came up on the apron. They was hugging a little bit from the ring. He said, "Man, I don't know. He's talking like he didn't know if he wanted to fight or not to his brother." So they knew that it was a chance that it's either going to be a loss. I think he didn't say this out of his mouth, but I think he was happy with the draw.
Yeah,
I believe that because of all his actions.
He was relieved of the draw.
Derek James,
relieved.
And Al Heyman and Sam Watson don't want this guy again.
It looked like Jermell Charlo was about to go cry in the car if that scorecard didn't go his way.
Hey, Bruce, what you got to say, Bruce?
You gonna cry in the car?
Man, I got to go the other way, and I'm not quite sure on the term swing rounds. What does that mean? Does that mean go for the hometown guy, or an even round is an even round, and that's what a judge has to do. He has to make up his decision. A round is 3 minutes. I usually break it down to a minute apiece. Whoever wins the 2/3 of the round wins the round. But anyway, regardless of that, I guarantee you, Charlo was pissing blood this morning. So he got hit with some nasty body shots, bro. Maybe all those flurries didn't land, but a lot of those did. If you saw some of those still photos, man, Charlo had his face was looking a little bit like Jersey Joe Walcott's when Marciano clipped him with that right. Not quite as that grotesque, but he got hit with some solid shots. And I can watch that fight again, which I will do. But watching it last night by myself in front of my 60-inch screen, nothing but me and my dog, nobody bothering me. I wasn't listening to the commentation. I was listening to some jazz, watching the fight, man. And I scored that fight plainly for Castano, man. It was easy for me. It wasn't even questionable. When I saw the draw, I said, okay, man, hometown draw. And in fact, it wouldn't have even surprised me if they gave it to Charlo. That's the way boxing is today, man. That's why I don't listen to the volume. I watch it with the sound down. But anyway, I did watch the Showtime poll. Ringside poll, man. 71% voted for Brian Castano, only 29% for Charlo. So, that says a little bit. We're not all dumb casuals. You know what I'm saying, bro?
No, okay, hold on. Oh, that leads another question then. Nobody knew who Brian Castano was, right? I think everybody pretty much agreed with that. Most of people in boxing, I didn't really know who he was. I'm gonna be honest with you. Jermell Charlo, writing this down right now, was the more known fighter. He was the most known fighter, right? He had the most notoriety. It was a foregone conclusion, even with me, that Jermell was going to become undisputed yesterday. Even with me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was dead effing wrong. I owe Brian Castano an apology. I was dead wrong. So my question to you guys is this. Brian Castano ended up getting the draw. We know what happened, right? And then Punch, of course, he had 116, 112. Castano, Jermell, he said Castano did more stuff. Jermell did more stuff. Yada yada yada. He's how you supposed to judge the fights. Yada yada yada. He gave his breakdown on it, right? If most of the people who done these polls agreed with a fighter that no one knew. Is this saying that so everybody who believed that when they did on the poll on Twitter, and everybody who believed that Castano won the fight, are they hating on Jermell Charlo? They don't know who Brian Castano is. No one know who this guy was.
Well,
So
some people are really in tune with him, but meaning across the whole, I guess the bigger name is Charlo.
right, right. You see what I'm saying, Shan? The bigger name is Charlo. So why is most people not feeling the way Punch feels?
Because we just saw it for how it really was. That we took out every bias out of it, and I was rooting. You see, we was on the group. We was saying who we thought was going to win. None of us went with Castano.
Yeah, I didn't. I
think
didn't.
he's tricky. He's a tricky guy, but I don't think he's going to get the win. None of us did that.
Yeah, shout out to my brother DJ for dropping that dub on
Super chat received.
Hey, and shout out to Blue for that's the guy who I stole it from. Come to your trap and take over your trap. He said I was good with they draw. I gave Mel 1 through 3. He gave Castano 4 through 8 and Mel 9 through 12. I had it 115, 113 Charlo. Anytime it's that close, it can go either way. A draw is fine with me. There is no way Castano only won 3 rounds. Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, coach, did you see the betting odds on a draw? It was plus 1,600 on a draw.
My God!
If you bet 100,000, you're a millionaire.
Oh man.
So I mean, does that kind of make you go a little bit? No.
Said they robbed the bank last night. That's what this shit was all about. Hey, hold on. Shout out to DJ.
Super chat received.
Playtime's
over, boy.
Shout out to DJ for the super chat. He said just run it back in December and settle it then. Yeah, but I think because Jermell has a bunch of got belts, so he's gonna have a bunch of mandatories. He's probably gonna have to fight. Who knows? And then who knows how that's gonna
play. Hey, coach, I got. Man, like Lady Shan said earlier, the Errol Spencer's reaction to it said a lot too. He was just like, yeah, it was a close fight. I mean, he didn't say who won. Usually be like, my boy won. I thought Mel got the fight. He ain't say that. He just said it was a close fight, a good fight. He ain't. I mean, nobody. Hey, nobody was saying.
He was saying talk to Derek James.
He never said, hey man, my boy won.
It was
Shadow.
That was bizarre to me. That was bizarre.
I think people expect so much from Charlo and expected nothing from Brian Castano. And I think that the boxing fans, if you're unbiased and you're not going for nobody, you got no horse in a race, it's normal for boxing fans to go for the underdog. So when you're not expecting nothing from Castano and he shows up because nobody knows him, then he's the Cinderella guy. You're cheering for him because he's just fighting, and fight fans want to see a fight. But once it goes to a decision, you have to go by the point system. And Charlo was mixing power punches with jabs. Can anybody tell me how many jabs did Castano land?
I gotta look at the point system.
He landed.
Okay, but guess what though? I got a counter to that. How many power shots did hold on, somebody. How many power shots did Castano land versus Jermell Charlo? Because I saw it last night. He landed more power shots than Jermell Charlo as well. So again, it can go either way. It can go either way.
Bro, like you said, Mal, like everybody would naturally would gear towards the known fighter just to pick for the known fighter. For the mere fact that 60 and 70% of people that were asked all thought that Castano won. That's not coming from nowhere. You know? I appreciate everybody's got their perspective and opinion, but it's not coming from nowhere. Castano, in my opinion, and most of the panel's opinion, won. Whether or not we're Charlo fans or not, and I'm not a Charlo fan, but I'm a Charlo. I can support him where need be. You know,
man, I'm a diehard Jermell Charlo fan.
Hey man, I'm from Houston, and I was going for Jermell, bro, but I still can't score for him. I ain't think he won more than 7 rounds or more than 6 rounds. It was hard to give him that.
Yeah, man. I'm like, man. Hey, I'm pulling teeth. I'm like, damn, because I was telling Santos, and Santos told me last night. He said, "Listen," I say, "Santos, man, my bias, man, I want to get this round to Jermell." And he said, yeah,
Yeah.
man, but Santos, what you told me last night? He said, yeah, man, but you got to be fair. If you being objective, you can't be
Yeah.
biased.
We got to be
Hey,
fight
Santos,
fans first.
yeah,
Gotta be fight
yeah.
fans first, man.
I'm like, I'm trying to give every round to Jermell Charlo. So when I'm coming around saying, damn, man, I ain't gonna lie, dog, I kind of think, man, that he lost. I'm not saying it because I'm rooting for the underdog. When I'm telling you, Jermell Charlo is that's one of my favorite fighters. That's one of my top 5 favorite fighters. And I'm like, from what I saw, go
If you
ahead.
think about it, okay, you
Now,
and I
but
both,
now,
we know where we were with this fight last night, right? And when we were conversing
Yeah,
back and forth.
yeah.
Now, if you think
You
about what we were
had to
saying
check
last
me.
night to
You
what
had to
we're
check me
saying
last
now,
night.
but check it out though. You put some on my heart too. And I also talked to DJ, my man DJ that did the super chat. He called me out when he was on his way home after the fights, and thinking about what you said last night during the fight, thinking about what DJ said last night. I said, man, I'm just pissed off about this 17-11. I gotta check myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I gotta go back and watch this fight because we both were saying something kind of different than what we were saying in the midst of everything last night. But real quick, let me counter one thing. Punch was saying, and I respect Punch, and I know he was at the fight last night. I saw him in the post fight interviews. But let me interject on this. You were saying that you have to go to the point system when the fight go to the distance. I think it's better stated if we say that regardless if we go to the distance or not, the fights have to be judged by the point system regardless from the beginning to the end until there's a knockout or the end of the 12th round has run. So we don't want to mislead some of these fight fans that don't really know as much as we do about boxing. Because if you say that you go to the point system later, that's what it sounds like, But and I think you mean you stick with the point system unless there's a knockout or something like that, or 12 round decision, you go to the point. But
no,
I mean, we got to
no,
make sure
yeah,
these folks know that
no,
you start with the
exactly.
point system. Period. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Punch. I think Punch got a bad connection.
Coach.
Yes, sir. Can
He
you hear
might
me?
be driving.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Richard.
Coach, from the looks of Sam Watson's face and the trainer's face last night, I don't think they want this guy again. I doubt if you're ever going to see a rematch in here. They're finished with him. He exposed himself to be a true professional, and Charlo has to go to school a little bit more.
Yeah, I expected. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like me, I wasn't rooting for no underdog. Hey, Shane, and Santos, I was. I'm like, I'm trying to give everything to Charlo.
I was rooting.
I think
When Charlo got caught with that left hook and his knees buckled and his ass fell on the bottom rope.
He's like,
I'm like, come on, man.
Come on, hell no.
Hey, I think we all started off pretty silent at the beginning of that fight, and then around the second round, we perked up. In the third round, we really perked up. We couldn't keep up with each other. The chests were going back and forth. So it was an exciting fight. And no matter how anyone feels, we the fans won last night. We got a thrill last night.
Yeah.
That was a great fight. It was a better fight than we anticipated because not many people knew as much about Castano as we found out. But one thing I found out, this kid, his pedigree goes further than his amateur career. His dad was a professional fighter, and he brought him up in the fight game. So he that's all he's done all his life is fight. So he's solid. He's very solid.
Hold on. Marvin Warren says Charlo was whipping that boy all around the ring. Charlo got robbed. All right, Marvin.
We got to discount what he said.
Hey, Marvin, man. Hey, man, you got a right to your opinion, man. Charlo got robbed, man. Hey, man, I'm telling you, man. Hey, guys, well, listen, man. Hey, Shadow Ghost, go ahead, fam. I gotta let you cook a little bit.
Hey, first off, just real quick, hey, man, salute to everybody on the channel. I just want to say one thing. Hey, I agree with Punch when he says you got to go by the scorecard criteria, which is why Steve Weisfeld, who was one of the judges yesterday, he has an article out, and I'm going to do a live a little bit later because I was going to talk about this. PBC Steve Weissel, he dropped an article talking about how do you go by a criteria: defects, effective aggression, ring generalship, the 10-point must system. He also talks about it. There's a swing round. You go by if a person lands like 10 pity pat punches and a person lands one punch that staggers you, that one is more effective than the other. Therefore, you would probably give it to him. Which one? There's a lot of shit that goes into it. By the way, Steve Weissfeld was one of the judges yesterday, who had it for I believe. Let me look it up. He had it 114, 113 for Castano.
Right.
And then go if you go by the copy box numbers, and like I watched the fight twice. The first time I watched it, right, I had Castano up, but then I watched it the second time, and I gave a couple more rounds to Charlo, but I still had Castano winning by 2 rounds at the end of the fight. I mean, I went by the same system that the judges go by. I mean, but we can all have our opinion. You know what I mean? If you think it was a draw, I can feel that. You know what I mean? I just feel to hear people say like Charlo got robbed, and I know some people could be making some jokes, but I've actually heard some people say like they really honestly feel Charlo got robbed, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Going into that last round, James told him that he needed a KO. That's number one. Number two, after the fight was over, Jermell was like, man, I ain't doing enough. He felt like he didn't. He felt like he didn't win that fight. It looked like when it was ready to draw, it looked like a sigh of relief. When he was asked about the rematch, he asked about the rematch. I got to talk to Al Heyman.
Yeah.
Just a whole, I don't know, just the whole energy to me don't seem like Jermell don't feel like he won. I mean, so it is what it is, but we all boxing pugilists. We all can see it how we want to see it. I mean, but for me to hear that you think Jermell got robbed, I think it just might be a little bias in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think nobody got robbed. I'm not going that far. I've seen robberies that ended up in the draw. Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez. That's the main one. You see what I'm saying? You know, the man beat the brakes off Chavez. Anybody who haven't seen that fight, please go back and watch that fight. You want to see a robbery? You want to? I was talking to hey Santos. I was talking to Derek Brooks, not Derek Brooks. Tommy. What is he trained? Vander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. Tommy Brooks. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Thanks, Bruce. Tommy Brooks is not like, man. that was the travesty of the century. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. You know, come on. Listen, and then Punch also said, our brother Punch said that he said, well, look at Castano's face, look at Jermell Charlo's face. I said, okay, well, we're gonna go by how faces look. But shit, let's look at
you can't go by that.
You can't go by that.
Easier than others.
Right. Some people bruise easier. You know what I mean?
Why do we look at how Jermell had the height advantage? Jermell had the reach advantage. To me, Jermell had the power advantage. And there was times where I saw Jermell backing up. He was going forward the whole time. I mean, when I saw it again, I gave Jermell the first round. I gave Jermell the second round. I gave Jermell the 10th round. I gave Jermell the 12th round. But I gave Castano 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 11th. I gave him the 11th.
See, I gave over Santos to tell you this. I think what I said, I had Jermell winning
10th round,
9, 10, 11, 12.
The 10th round is when he was rocked, right? But in the 11th round, he came back. Now that's a swing round to people. I know that
he was still hurt. He was still hurt that 11th round.
He did work in the 11th round, bro. He caught him with jabs that backed him up. He caught him again on the ropes in the 11th round.
I'm gonna go back and look at it. I'm gonna go back and look at it.
The beginning of the 11th, he was still recovering, but I think probably
he was recovering.
Right,
he was
probably under the 2-minute mark. I think he did a little work at that point. You know?
Right. So
the 11th was a swing round. It was a swing round.
Hey, so we're gonna get ready to wrap up. But before we wrap up, the question I have is this here: Jermell Charlo. You know, I've been following this guy for a while. After the fight, just after the fight, I just looked at his demeanor, his energy. I looked at Derrick James. I looked at Errol Spence. Looked at Jermell Charlo. I do agree. It does look like a sigh of relief that we got to draw, right? So, it is what it is. Again, I don't know who Brian Castano is. I know who he is now. I wasn't rooting for the underdog. I do understand the point system. I understand it very well, and I'm saying, it's very subjective. Like, some punts feel one way. Some people feel that Jermell Charlo got robbed. If anybody that wants to say that Jermell Charlo got robbed is me. I want to say it bad. I want to say Jermell Charlo got robbed. I want to say Jermell Charlo won 9 rounds. That's what I want to say. But if I say that based on what I saw last night, I would be lying. I can't. I would be lying. So I don't believe Charlo won no 16-12 or even 17-11. I don't believe that. Not based on what I saw. And apparently, we have a draw. So we have a draw. So there you have it.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, Coach, man. I appreciate you. Everybody on the chat, I appreciate you, man.
And let's give everybody a round of applause on the panel, man. I'm gonna give everybody. Let's give everybody. Hey, please subscribe to Shadow Ghost's channel. Let's give everybody a last word before we go. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna start with hold on. Punch says all I'm saying is swing rounds can go either way. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm justifying it. Last question: how many swing rounds? Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have to go back and look at it again. Punch, to be honest with you. Now I have to go back and look at. I want to look at that fight again, like Sento said. I want to look at it again, and I get a better because I may look at it again and say, hey, yeah, you're right, Punch. You won 16-12. Or I may look at it again and get better clarity. So that's what I need to do. Young Billionaire, go ahead, brother, man. What you want to wrap the show up with, brother? Young Billionaire, you still there? All right, I think he's having issues, technical issues. Bruce Goes, my brother, go ahead, fam.
Hey, Coach, man. Peace. I appreciate you letting me jump on here, man. A lot of great boxing minds, man. Different opinions. I love it, man. And everybody here, extremely polite. Everybody's articulate, man. No bullshit, man. I appreciate it. You know me, Bruce Goes. I'm pretty much everywhere. You can see me on Fourth Quarter Nutrition with Big Duke, man. We do a thing on nutrition and bodybuilding, weightlifting, and anybody wants me to come on and talk boxing, I love it, brother. Peace out to everybody.
I follow you guys. When I was on a panel not panel, but I was in the chat one time when you was doing one of your shows about nutrition and weightlifting. I went to the gym this morning, so I had to do my 3-mile run because I run 3 miles a day. So, but go ahead, yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I really do appreciate you, and you are a boxing historian. I love the show that you blood, on blood boxing. Who else was on there? What's the brother that be on Blue Buzz Sports TV?
Curtis Anderson.
Curtis Anderson, yeah, man, I was. The top.
We had Mark on there. Dude, I'm no boxing historian. I'm just an old guy that's seen a lot of fights, and every once in a while, a memory kicks in, and I love getting on here and sharing it with all you cats, bro. I really do. So, Coach, man, nothing but love and respect for everybody out there, man. All I can say is we got to do it again sometime, and peace.
All right, absolutely, man. Shout out to the Bruce Goes. Give him a round of applause. DJ, I'm DJ.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Charles Stevenson for the $2 super chat. He said, "Great fight, not a robbery. Draw is fair." Absolutely. I mean, I can go for that. I can actually go for that. You know what I mean? And I can go for that. Because you got people saying it both ways now. Santos, anything you want to wrap the show up with, brother?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, great show, man. I did take a nap on you, but woke up. Sometimes my body does that. But great show. Great commentary from the panel. And I'm sure the chat was lit because it's scrolling like crazy. Yeah, man, it was a great fight last night, and I think between Shan, myself, and you, we had the group lit up last night, going back and forth. I couldn't keep up with you guys as fast as you guys was responding, but let me tell you, man, that fight was very exciting, and it woke me up to the point that I kind of dozed off in the early fights. I woke up just in time to catch Rolly's knockout. But let me tell you, man, it was a great show today. It was a great fight last night, and we, the fans, won, and I thank them for what they gave us, and I look forward to see this again, hopefully. Thanks, man.
Yeah. So let's give Santos a round of applause. Give our brother Santos a round of applause, man. Another thing I will say, guys, at least we got an undisputed fight last night. 2 guys fighting for undisputed. At least we got that last night. So we got to think. You guys know how. You guys know how much trash I talk about promotional companies, PBC, Heyman, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, whatever. But I gotta say, hey man, at least we got that fight last night. Because we might not get another one. No time soon. I'm just being honest with you, Shane. Hey, Bo, my brother Bo, man, go ahead, man. Go ahead and drop that quarter of a dub on your boy before you. Go ahead and wrap it up, man. Before give me any last words, my brother.
Hey man, definitely a great show today as usual, man. Everybody came on, gave their objective opinion. And, we all had little differences here and there, man. But at the end of the day, man, it was a great fight. Like Santos say, man, the fans won. I'm just hoping that we could get another one and, and knock off that Cole Al stuff, man. We need that immediate rematch. So, and hopefully, it might be pay-per-view. And hopefully, the fans will come out even more to watch that fight, man. But other than that, man, great panel. See you tomorrow, Coach. Lady Shan, catch up with you and I forgot what's that guy named Roger. Oh, Richard. Hey man, good analysis as well, man.
All right, man. Shout out to my brother Bo, man. Round of applause. All right, Richard, what's going on, brother, man? Anything you want to wrap the show up with?
Well, I want to say, first of all, it's a pleasure to be on your panel, Coach. You're a very fair guy, and I love to participate. Secondly, I want to say that Al Heyman got the gift of his life last night. He kept the 3 belts in the fold, and that was a good thing for him. But I don't know about the validity of the decision, but I suppose that's the best way out of this. So that's what they did.
And before I let you go, I think the reason why people are saying when there's a saying, when you are a guy that's fighting someone in their own backyard, you automatically know and feel, okay, man, listen, it's a good chance I'm gonna get robbed in this fight. So I'm not saying that's what happened last night, but I'm just giving you. I'm going somewhere with this. So if you can go in someone else's backyard and get a draw, meaning like if you don't knock the guy out, if you go 12 rounds, you can get a draw. That's kind of like the best you can hope for in that situation, because the judges can easily say that you lost.
Coach,
if you get what I'm saying.
The crowd turned for Castano.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's what I was telling Shane. Shane, go back and watch the fight. When the fight was over with, and they said it was a draw, the crowd was booing.
Yeah.
And when Charlo and when Jermell started talking, they booed him a little.
Yeah, see,
I'm not saying the whole audience now, but if you heard some boos, oh my God, but the boos could have been from
they were having a performance.
Right, so all right, yes, sir, Richard. Let's give Richard a round of applause. Lady Shan done them season, y'all. Please, I'm gonna plug everybody's shows station. So, Lady Shan, anything you want to wrap the show up with, sister?
No, great. Thanks for coming on my platform earlier. We had fun.
Oh yeah, hey, that was. What's the brother name that was he was trying to take over Tyson Fury. I forgot his name. Andy, yeah.
I'll fill you in after the show.
All right, okay. All right.
Thanks for coming on, Mal. You always light up the place, and that was mad fun. And it's thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on. Anybody wants to catch me, you can catch me on Lady Shan Dundon Season, my own channel. Social media at Lady Shan, LadyChann, Instagram, Twitter. That's where you can find me.
All right, listen, guys, don't forget. Well, if you go to Lady Shan channel, don't forget to drop that half a dub on
your channel. Yeah.
All right.
See you later.
All right. Hey, shout out to Lady Shan. Hey, listen. Hey, drop that half a dub on Punch Drunk. Drop that half a dub on blood boxing. Drop it on I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, Major Key Boxing. Drop that half a dub on me. Oh yeah, no, you got to send him cash out. You got to send Major Key cash out because his channel's not monetized yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Shout out to Major Key Boxing. You guys please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, man, we're gonna have a good show tomorrow night. Fred from Barbershop Conversation is coming on the show. He's coming on to promote his movie 9 Wives. I want to see the movie myself because it's, as you guys know, I used to be in the Nation of Islam. I was a lieutenant. I came out of mosque. I was a lieutenant. I was registered with mosque number 47. So he's coming on the show tomorrow to promote his movie. You know what I mean? So, be on the lookout for that. But we're going to talk about boxing. We're going to talk about boxing after Fred leaves the show. But we're going to talk about boxing. But we're going to give him time to plug the movie as well. You know what I mean? 9 Wives. And then after he leaves, then we're going to talk about boxing. So be in tune for that. And let's see. You know how we do it, guys. Let me go ahead and give everybody a shout out in the chat. Now, there's some people that's not here anymore, but I want to give a shout out to Smith and West. I think he was here earlier. Shout out to my sister Karma Serene. Shout out to Carm. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Shout out to Lady Shan Dundam Season. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel. Shout out to my brother Punch Drunk Boxing. Please subscribe to his YouTube channel and drop that half a dub on your boy. Shout out to my brother Blood on Retro Boxing. Please subscribe to his YouTube channel. Shout out to Major Key Boxing. Please subscribe. Major Key Mondays. Man, if I forgot your channel, please do not be mad at me. Oh, shout out to please subscribe to Shadow Ghost. If I forget your channel, please don't be mad, bro. I don't have nothing written down. Shout out to Mario G. Shout out to Ronald Finkley. Shout out to Halim in the building. Shout out to my brother Halim. And shout out to Coach Askey as well, Tyson Fury's ex-trainer. Shout out to Javis Bickle. Shout out to Chim Dog. Shout out to Jabril Bay. Shout out to 3 Up, 3 Down. What's happening? Shout out to Tell Him. Oh, my main man, Tell Him. I didn't even know you was here, brother. I didn't know you was here, Tell Him. Shout out to Tell Him. Shout out to Baltimore Racks. Shout out to Anna Lee. What's going on, sis? Shout out to Boxing Magic. Shout out to Rob Rib Shows. What's going on, Rob? Shout out to Diverse Conscious. Shout out to Charles Stevens. Shout out to Dr. Hook. And shout out to my brother Dragon Leg. What up? Just in case I forget. Shout out to Ronald Finkley. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Mad Chad Boxing and Sports. Shout out to Bon Scott. Shout out to D-Style. Shout out to D-Style. I forgot all about him. Shout out to Halim. Halim, I would have said your name. Shout out to Sneezy Foster. Shout out to Javis Bickle. Shout out to Richard S. Shout out to my brother Bold. Shout out to what the brother other name that was on the show. Oh yeah, shout out to Centos and shout out to the other brother, man. Damn, I forgot the brother's name, man. I hope I see him in the chat. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Shout out to Wole. Shout out to Marvin Warren. Shout out to Jimmy John. Shout out to Jedi Gremlin. Shout out to Javis Bickle. Shout out to Bon Scott. What's going on, fam? Shout out to who else we have? Mario G. Shout out to Siberian. Shout out to Siberianis. What is Siberianis fam? Okay. Shout out to who else we have? Jabril Bay. Shout out to who else we have? Shout out to Jedi Gremlin. Shout out to Fly Boys. You know what I mean? Fly Boys. I like that. Shout out to Eliza Feliciano. Shout out to my brother Charlo. I think he was here earlier. Shout out to Charlo. Let's see who else we have. Oh yeah, shout out to the Queen Anna Lee. Shout out to Lee Luna. Shout out to the Queen Lee Luna. Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bells. Shout out to Karma Serene and Anna Lee. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Diverse Conscious. Shout out to I already said Boxing Magic. Let's see who else we have. Shout out to Peter. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Toby Barlett. Shout out to Dr. Hook. Left hook. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Double Lady Sagittarius, my brother. What's going on, fam? Double Lady Sagittarius. Shout out to Golden Knight. Let's see what we have. Shout out to Bruce Goals. Bruce Goals. That's what I was looking for. Bruce. Shout out to Bruce. And I forgot the other brother that was on, man. I forgot the other brother that was on. Shout out to Graham Taylor. And I think that's it, guys. So listen, man, once again, it's our boy Coach. Oh, shout out to Levi Smith. And shout out to Lee. Lee, what's going on? What up? Lee. Shout out to Who else we got? Oh yeah, shout out to Wole. Wole, once again, fam, and Dr. Hook again. Once again, it's our boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today, USA Boxing, signing out. Tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We are tune in, please, every day, 6 days a week, from Sunday through Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, from 3 to 5:30. Other than that, once again, it's our boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today, USA Boxing, signing out. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.